Another day, another inconsistent Chelsea, another defeat at the Molineux, whatever. And here we are to review it. Welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to the match review for Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Oh, yeah. Nothing I love more than Chelsea losing a match on Christmas Eve. Nothing I love more. Nothing gives me more butterflies in my stomach and cheer in my heart than watching my team fall apart every other week. Because sometimes we can manage to win a game, and then sometimes we lose, and then sometimes you win, and then sometimes you lose. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, and sometimes maybe a draw. So before we talk about this lovely match of football that we witnessed earlier today, I'm gonna go ahead and go through the basics, the everydays, the admin. Guys, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I do have to point out something. Some of you guys subscribe so that you can talk in the chat. And then you unsubscribe afterwards. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Yeah, I'm calling you out. I see you. I see you. Why? What is the point? Why go through the effort? Just, you're here all the time. You might as well subscribe. It helps out the channel. It helps make the content that you already like to watch better. It's a win-win. So smash the subscribes, you bellend. Just do it. It's so simple. So
American using the word bellend.
I know. I gotta use their language so they can understand me. So smash up the subscribe button. You already subscribed. Why unsubscribe after you subscribe just to talk in the chat? You're already here. You're already engaging. Come, accept it. You are a casual like the rest of us, and you're here to suffer just like the rest of us. Let's sing Kumbaya and hold hands. At this point, that's all we got. That's all we got. So smash up the subscribe button, smash up the like button, share if you would like to. Actually, we're doing an experiment here. We're streaming on Twitter as well. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, or how it works, but yeah. Go ahead and if you're on Twitch or not Twitch, Twitter, retweet it, share the post. I guess I don't know how this works on Twitter, but yeah, we're on Twitter as well right now. I just figured out today that there was a multi-stream option on StreamYard, so we're gonna try it out. Let's see how that works out. Maybe it helps us growing as well. But yeah, share if you haven't done so already, ladies and gents. Smash up the bell notification as well so you are notified whenever we do go live. Be sure to check out all the links in the description below, as there you will find my other content like my music, my other YouTube channel for gaming and all that fun stuff. You'll find Ahmeds Channel down there, our Discord, which is very active. We always watch games over there as well. And loads of other fun stuff down in the description below. Also, be sure to check out the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on the game. If you are watching this in the future, what you thought, what you think is the solution. Are you Poch in? Are you Poch out? Is the players the problem? Is the board the problem? Or are you still droning about the owners? Go ahead and let us know in the comment section below. And last but not least, memberships starting at 4 different tiers at 99p. Cheap, very affordable. You get some awesome emojis to use, very unique to the community, and you also get priority in the comment section as well whenever you are here for the live section of the streams. So yeah, lots of good stuff in the memberships, more things to come as we grow as well. So do check that out and enjoy your rewards, the fruits of your labor for the 99p that you spent on a membership to help out Casually FC, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. All right, enough of me waffling and talking about and convincing you to smash buttons that you probably are going to smash anyways. Let's talk about the game. So, summary of the game. The first half is the story of Chelsea's last 5 years, 4 years. Definitely last 5 years. Creating chances, clear-cut chances that we cannot finish. Absolutely shit performances from the likes of Broja, from the likes of Jackson, and especially from the likes of Raheem Sterling today. Absolutely shit performances from these attackers. You expect better, and we don't get better. It sucks. It hurts to be constantly talking about this persistent issue at the club, which is the inability to finish chances. And that was basically the tale of the first half. And then we go to the second half, and in the 51st minute, Mario Lemina, completely unmarked, completely defensively left alone, essentially. Ugochukwu, who I'm not gonna press Ugochukwu too much. This man came on and played after just recovering from injury because Caicedo had a flu or flu-like symptoms or a fever.
It was a fever, yeah.
It was a fever. And so this man was break glass in case of emergency type settings today. And he played in emergency, probably got re-injured again. And now he's going to be out again for who knows how long. We'll see when we find out the news. But leaves his man unmarked, and Lemina just easy header. Nothing Petrovic can do about it. So I don't want to hear anyone blaming the goalkeeper on that. So we're down 1-0. Again, missing chances. And NKUNKU comes in, which is great. And NKUNKU comes on. But no, I'm not talking to you, Google. I'm saying NKUNKU, okay? So NKUNKU comes on, and you can see he does change the pace of the game. The tide of the game starts to turn our way a little bit better. We start to create a little bit more chances. We start to do a little more, but it's not enough. And of course, last minute, just defense completely asleep. Matt Doherty. I don't know.
Yeah, Doherty. Yeah.
Doherty. He scores another goal, puts Wolves ahead 2-0. And then as a consolation prize, our number 10 has better finishing ability than our number 9. And I can tell that in just the 2 games he's played so far, which is pathetic. And here we have it, guys. And NKUNKU scores a headed goal. A header. And NKUNKU scores a header. And Chelsea are now losing 2-1. And the game ends there. I'll just say this. If you're out here blaming the owners, you might as well talk to a wall. Because there's nothing you can do about the ownership. They're here to stay. Riot all you want. If you want to go and burn down the bridge because you want to riot and protest, by all means,
that sounds fun,
see how
man.
much that helps.
Be more entertaining this season.
See how much that helps. So go ahead and do that if you really want the owners out. That's the only way you're going to get the owners out, is by forcing them out. They're contractually obligated to be here for another 10 years. So complaining about the owners isn't going to do shit. Isn't going to solve shit. You want to blame the recruitment? Well, guess what? The recruitment got orders from the owners to go towards a young route. Egbali's orders, okay?
Yeah.
So the only thing that's left to complain about here is Poch and the players. And honestly, the way I see it, and I'm sure you guys are going to disagree and argue with me, which I'm all for. Let me know your thoughts. I think on this one, it's clearly the players that dropped the ball today.
Yeah.
Poch set him up in a way that they had chances to score, and these players did not capitalize. Now, what I will criticize Poch on, that starting lineup is questionable. You probably shouldn't have started with Broja and Jackson. Either one. You're not both. You probably should have kept Mudryk, because when Mudryk came on, he was creating opportunities. He wasn't making clear-cut chances, but we were attacking more with Mudryk. Probably we can make the argument, and if Ahmed comes on, he'll give me the argument of starting Matos over Ugochukwu, which I disagree, but that is an argument you can have. And again, Levi Colwell at left back. Malo Gusto, which to a certain extent I could agree. Why take him off? But maybe he can't do a full 90, but he took him off in the 80th minute and to put on the Sassy, which, Huh? Okay. All right. And what else is there to criticize? I mean, that's about as much as I can
You
criticize
can
Poch for.
criticize their like end product really. Like that's what let the team out down
You're
today.
talking about
Anyway,
from Poch, though. What can we criticize
Like-
Poch for?
I don't think there's much else that Poch did wrong. Because Poch isn't the one telling Raheem Sterling to shoot the ball at the keeper and not pass it to Palmer for a clear goal. Poch isn't the one telling Broja to miss the ball when it comes towards him. Poch isn't the one telling Jackson to dribble into the keeper. So, like, how much can you really blame Poch for this one? I'm not Poch in. I'm Poch out. I've been Poch out. I've been Poch out for a hot minute now. But I'm also rational. And I see it. I see how it is. And today, I don't think it was on Poch. So, I mean, I've said enough of what I said. Let me read these comments and either cringe or appreciate your comments. I guess, Oliver, you can start us off, man. How you feeling about this game? Or, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was just dead. I mean, first of all, I didn't think we were going to win. I actually thought we were going to lose because, listen, it's the Molineux. We have a terrible record at the Molineux. I think the last time we won at the Molineux was under Frank Lampard in the first season. That was 2019, by the way. So it's been almost 4 years since a win at the Molineux. It's just never our day there, even when Pedro Neto. So I was scared that Pedro Neto was going to do us in today, but he didn't even play, and we still got packed. But
wasn't necessary.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, just to compound it all. But anyway, I want to go to what you were talking about with the attackers and their performances. First of all, I think you mentioned, what was it, Sterling, Broja, Jackson. I'm going to add Cole Palmer to that just for today. He was not good today. I don't necessarily blame Cole Palmer because I think in this season he has shown a better level than that, and I'm just seeing a constant regression from him that is so similar to many other players that we have in this squad. They start out good and they peter out under this manager. So, and the long shots thing, we were talking about it on the Discord. This guy has literally become a outside the box spam merchant for shooting when he's so much better than that. He's so much more creative than that. He has more potential than that. And his game is either being limited to that by Poch or he's just lost confidence. So I'll add him to that list. And I want to talk about Sterling quickly. I'm sure we'll get on to other things in the game, but I want to talk about Sterling because I understand the reaction to him. And I am also very, very frustrated with him. I think it's the reaction towards his performance today is very relative because I think if you look at this game from an objective lens, he was actually our best attacker today, besides NKUNKU. Like a lot of the chance. Look at the game before that missed chance, and I'll get to that in a second. Before that missed chance, he was actually like everything was going through him, and it was just Jackson and Broja messing it all up in the box. That missed chance, though, like that just undid all of the good. Though I'm afraid, like as a guy, we heard back in 2022 when he came to the club that he wanted to come here to be the main man. I'm sorry, but if you want to be the main man of a football club, you have to bury that. You're a 29-year-old, multiple-time champion in this league, and you're the highest earner in the club as well. That is unacceptable. No one else. You can't feel any other way about it, really. And he's getting a very appropriate reaction online and probably at the ground as well. I just wanted to give that perspective because I do think, as much as that was horrible from him, I don't think he was our worst attacker, but you have to expect better from him. That's absolutely 100% acceptable to expect from him,
I've said this once, and I'll reiterate it over and over and over. You can say I have a Jackson agenda, and maybe I do. But the thing that frustrates me about Jackson is that he does the same thing Sterling did at Man City, and does now, which it's the indecisiveness, the like hogging the ballness almost of I'm just going to dribble past everyone. I'm going to dribble past the keeper. I'm going to dribble. That's good. Jackson, for a striker, you have good dribbling ability. You need to shoot more than you fucking dribble in a game. As a striker, I want my striker to be aggressive. I want my striker to shoot. Even if you miss wide, even if you hit the handicap person in row Z, I don't care. As long as you're shooting, I can never get frustrated with a striker because at least the striker is trying to take some shots. At least the striker is trying to score a goal. With Jackson, it's almost like you want to dribble past the player before you want the ball to be perfectly in front of the net before you can take a shot. You want the ball in a perfect position. You want the perfect angle before you can shoot. You always want to get comfortable before you shoot. Some of the best strikers in the world in our past, in the past time of football, okay? I can't even do sentences right now. In the history of football, these strikers, what made them so fucking good is the angles and the positions they could score from. That's what makes a striker good. And that's what distinguishes other strikers from Jackson. And that is what frustrates me with Jackson. I remember I had the same exact criticism of Timo Werner when he was playing for the club. When he first came into this team, the first season, and you can go back, check out the KH No Filter logs. You can see this same criticism I had for Werner. Werner, you get yourself in these great positions, but you don't fucking shoot. And Chris, you were there for those streams. You probably remember me saying this. You don't shoot. Timo, if you shot more often, there's a good chance you can get a goal every now and again. But you don't shoot. You never shoot. Our strikers don't shoot. So if you don't fucking shoot, how do you expect to score? This man dribbles more than he fucking shoots. I can't iterate it enough. Like, I don't know if you guys agree with me. I don't know if you guys see the same thing I do, but next time you see Jackson play, pay attention to how often he dribbles instead of shooting. Pay attention to how often you call yourself or you see yourself saying, shoot, and he doesn't shoot. He dribbles. It's gotten to the point with me where I am so tired of saying it now that I don't even bother. I already know he's going to dribble. When he had that one-on-one with the keeper, I already knew he was going to dribble into him. I still got mad because I'm hoping he completely proves me wrong, but he doesn't. Over and over again. This man just likes to dribble. He's not a striker, man. Not a striker. 7 goals, good. Whatever. Get me more goals. But a striker, a proper striker, would have had me double-digit goals by now, probably.
I could see Osimhen maybe, for example, maybe just about 10 goals in this team, but
sure.
But with Jackson, Marshall, I already knew this about Jackson because before he joined Chelsea, I didn't have much knowledge of the guy. When I did research, the guy was actually, like you said, a bit of a dribble merchant. He's a very good on the ball. He's good at link up. He doesn't really actually shoot enough. Like even with his previous team, I don't think he even scored a lot of goals for his previous team. If I think about it, all season anyway. He's not that type of striker, and that's why we, in the future, like in summer, we do need another striker. I actually don't mind Jackson because 1, we bought him for 30 million, and 2, I think this club always didn't expect him to be that main striker. We just didn't have enough funds to spend another 100 million on a striker when we bought Caicedo and all these other players as well. You know, to fill in this team. That's what it is with Jackson. He's just here for the season, and we'll see next season, but I'm not going to really go too hard on Jackson because even though he's poor at times, but yeah, it's one of them players.
You should go hard on Jackson. He's a striker who isn't striking the ball.
He's actually one of the top scorers in the Premier League. That's kind of weird.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me read this comment right here. It only took NKUNKU a couple of minutes to score because no one has to tell him to stay in the box. I don't think it's even so much that. It's because NKUNKU shoots. NKUNKU can head the ball. And NKUNKU strikes the ball. He tries to score goals.
It's like Chelsea Blues comment earlier. You know, he has more shots in this one game than Broja has all season.
Okay.
But here's the thing:
in just one sub appearance, wow.
I get that's damning, and bad on Broja as well. And listen, call me a Broja stan, whatever the fuck. I don't think Broja's been good either. I'm hoping he'll come back to his best, but now it's seeming more and more less likely to happen.
Best 6 goals season, yeah.
You know, best fitness when he looked
I hope the best
and
one too.
Didn't get enough play time. Okay, well my point is that with Broja, we know he's a different kind of striker. He's just the target man. He'll stay up there at number 9. He doesn't do link up like Jackson, which I admit. Jackson's a good link up.
Jackson was on a wing.
Jackson has good link up. I'll give him that.
Oh my God.
But if you're a striker, your best stat. If you're a defender, what's the best attribute for you as a defender?
Well, sorry, say that again.
Defending.
My dog's annoying me.
Well, okay, yeah, defending. What aspect of defending?
Well, I don't know, being good in the air, tackling.
Being good in the air,
marking,
deception, even aggression, that type of
Ahmed,
stuff.
do you agree? Do you agree?
No, now because the school of thought is not making sense when the guy that we are talking about
don't-
currently
who we talking
has when the guy that we
I'm not
currently
referring to Broja. I'm just talking in general, right? As a defender, what do you think is one of the more important stats or important attributes to have as a defender?
it's the goal scored. That's what it's done.
Discipline as well. Discipline's one
Okay.
of the
Most people would say tackling, right?
Well,
As a striker, what is
has
the
to be
most
good tackling, of
important?
course.
What is the most important stat you could have, or attribute you could have as a striker?
Well, getting
Finishing?
goals, of
Scoring.
course.
Striking?
Yeah,
Yeah, goals,
Yeah.
Your striking is never, done as a statistic. By the way,
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, with Jackson, it's good you have good link-up play. With Broja, it's good that you can get in behind the defender. It's good that you have aggression. Both of you lack finishing. Both of you lack striking ability, shooting. This is what you need to be a striker. Why am I saying this? Everyone should know this, including these strikers. These guys should not be called strikers. They should just be called attackers. Like, it's just baffling to me. I'm sorry. Go on. I think I interrupted someone. I don't even know. My head's lost.
Yeah, it's lost.
A little
Nah,
bit.
I don't know if you want me to talk about Jackson no more, but like, yeah, he's just one of them players.
Oh, I
Like,
was saying, you should be critical of Jackson.
Oh no, well, like the thing is, I already knew about like doing research before he joined Chelsea. Like, I already knew what type of striker he was by the sounds of it. Like, he's a guy, like you said, he's a link-up guy. He's not like a massive goal scorer. He scored I think 14, 15 goals max in a season. Like, I think he's on par like to hit that again maybe in the Premier League. So maybe that's still like quite good because the Premier League's a harder league for him, more pressure playing for Chelsea, and Chelsea's obviously in a dump. So I'm not really like too critical of like Jackson, even though Jackson's frustrating. Like today he was awful. Like he has those games. He's just not a consistent striker. But who's consistent in our attack really? Probably NKUNKU might be our most consistent attacker. Like so far, yeah, he's done really well when he's came on from his injury. But he probably NKUNKU's probably gonna be dragged down with his team anyway. Like I don't know, it's just gonna get worse for him probably over the time.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Probably the heaviest criticism I have of Jackson today, like aside from all the performances, another booking for just like dissent or whatever.
Yeah,
But like, I can. It's at a point now where I can only criticize Jackson so much because he's just a guy on the pitch, and he's just doing. He's clearly acting on his own devices because the manager has said in press conferences that he doesn't want this. The manager has said in press conferences that he's making the guy run every time he does a yellow card. He gets a yellow card or gets booked, whatever. Whatever, Pochettino, whatever your methods are to getting this guy to be more disciplined, clearly isn't working. You need to take more serious action here. If you need to drop him, then drop him. You need to send a clearer message to him because he's 2 yellow cards off a 2-game ban.
Oh, I think he's already.
He's on 7 yellows, I think, right now.
Oh, he's at eight.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But that's what I mean. It's been 8 yellows, and I know Scott brought this point up on the on Carefree Lewis's watch along. I think a very maybe 1 or 2, if any, of his yellows have actually been for a foul or anything like that. Most of them have been for like dissent, kicking the ball away, saying something to the referee, waving the imaginary yellow. It's just stupid stuff. It's immature, and like I said, Poch has made it clear in the public that he doesn't want this. So clearly, the message you're sending to the guy ain't clear enough because he keeps doing it. So you need to actually set a standard here. If you're really serious about this, then you need to drop him. As bad as Broja was today, you need to take some action there. Like simple as because and it's not just him. Raheem Sterling kicking the ball away and Cole Palmer, Sterling diving today and Cole Palmer kicking the ball away. They're now suspended for the next game against Palace.
Wait, both of them? Sterling
yes,
too?
both of them are suspended against Crystal Palace.
Sake.
So you're not only Jackson. You're not sending the message clear enough to the whole squad.
Yeah. So before Ahmed goes, because obviously I want to hear Ahmed's point, I do want to answer this, and then I want Ahmed to answer it, and we'll go around the horn and see what you guys think as well. Can someone explain to me why Poch keeps telling Mudryk to cut and not keep wide? Like this has to be a tactical. Mudryk never uses the wing, never. Can someone explain, please? I think it's because Mudryk sucks at crossing. Like literally. Like I don't know how often he does it, but every time he goes to the wide and tries to cross the ball, He just overshoots it. This man leg presses fucking 500 pounds on each side. And no wonder the fucking ball is like a fucking little tennis ball to him. And he just fucking boots it far as hell. So this man, he just doesn't know how to power his shots. Maybe that's why. And maybe it's to control his pace, because in the beginning of the season, this guy kept running into offsides all the time. This guy kept running way ahead of the, I don't know. He just ran too fast at the beginning of the season. He had no control over his pace. So maybe it's that. But by the way, 46 of you guys watching, but there's only 16 likes. What is going on? Why do you guys love to suffer?
Come on, it's Christmas. We're doing it.
It's almost Christmas. You're
Time for giving. You need to give your likes.
Time for smashing those likes.
You know what
harder than you smashed your head against the wall when Chelsea got another L.
You know what? It was last Christmas. I gave you my heart. The very next day, you break it.
No, you didn't do that.
Come on, man. Come on, lads. Let's do it. What are we doing? What are we doing, lads? What are we doing?
Marshall, you must have
man. Talk to me, bro.
All right. You know what, man? Big up to everyone, man. I hope everyone's doing well. Listen, man. You know, all of the lads. I hope everyone's doing well. Everyone that's watching. Hopefully, if you're celebrating Christmas tomorrow, enjoy it. Merry Christmas to you guys and everything like that. Listen, have a happy New Year, man. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas and a happy New Year. But like, let's be honest, guys. What we saw today was not a very Christmassy. You know what I mean? Wasn't in the spirit of the Christmas festivities, shall we say? But like, you know, I actually, you know, for the first half year, it was really just on the players. If I'm being honest. Well, this is something that I said even on my own match review on the Bridge 258, where I was like, for me, the first half was on the players. Like, they were creating the chances themselves. You know, there was still no style of play that was occurring, but they were creating the chances. And then it's criminal, some of the stuff that happened. You know, Sterling had to only pass to Cole Palmer. That was the guy that was next to him on the side. You know, as a player, I always say, as a, you know, a guy that's in the, what's it called here, an older statesman, you know, you would think you would make the optimal decision, the right decision. You can see, like, Saar knows that if Saar is not looking after his other side because he believes, yeah, that you're gonna pass it to someone else on the side, on to your right. That was the whole thing. So, you know, clearly, yeah, why did he not do that, bro?
So, or why not just score anyway?
But the thing is, I'm not even considering scoring. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, literally, yeah, just do the optimal option. The optimal option there was to pass to Palmer for the tap-in. But like, that's just for me personally. You know? Maybe you can say just score as well, which is fair enough. But like, if I am like, you know, looking at him to criticize him, I'm like, you should have just done the optimal option for me.
It seemed like the most obvious option, the clear one, the easiest way to score.
You know, and like then you have Jackson just missing open nets. You know what I mean? That guy definitely cannot finish it off. Cannot ejaculate, man. You know what I mean? He can do everything else but ejaculate. So there's that is for sure, broski. Broha, same old. And you know, I don't know if anyone said this. Cole Palmer, bro. Cole Palmer is just the new Willian of Chelsea. He's the new Willian of Chelsea. You know, you guys saw me on video when I was not on the stream. I explained it in detail, but for argument's sake, on here, yeah. All he does, yeah, is he runs. You know what I mean? He does this little, like with the left, then cuts inside and then shoots. That's all he does, bro. That's all he does.
That basically sums him up today. That's all he did. He put the boots on.
Yeah,
he did nothing else. He did nothing else.
A long shot, you know. He did that thing last while.
You know, I have to say, bro. You then look into the midfield. You know, look at the midfield. Yeah, in that first half. The midfield, yeah, was, you know what I mean, bro. The midfield had no protection, man. That was, you know what I mean. Wolves were just going in there raw. You know what I'm saying to you? Literally, they didn't need to do anything, literally, at all with that midfield. I mean, the back four was all right to one, so I'm not going to comment on the pass half. In the second half, though, it is on Mauricio Pochettino. The second half is on Mauricio Pochettino.
Explain
But
to
I
me.
actually think for me, more so, there is something that is on Pochettino in the first half and in the whole game, and that is Mr. Leslie Uguchukwu. You know what I'm saying to me, yeah? Now, you guys know my thoughts because I explained this to Marshall, but he should not have started this game, in my opinion. You could tell that this guy was not match sharp and match fit, in my opinion. The way he was playing, he was not match sharp and he was not match fit. And we forced him in, we forced him in, and you could literally see that he wasn't up for the game physically. And then he gets injured in the second half, drop horror. And you know, I always come back to personally, that after what has happened with Reece James, us rushing people into into the game, to play games, we saw what happened. So for me, as I said before to you guys, and I said this to you guys backstage before, and even when the game was up, I was like, it would have been better if Ugochukwu had still held the bench. You bring him on main for the last 30 minutes, but you at least play an academy player who is a CDM or number 6 or for that position, whoever he may be. And at the very least, we could have made the argument, people would have been, I think, if you had heard that, Ugochukwu just came back from injury, Lavi just came back from injury, who's the other person? Caicedo is ill with high fever, and then that Enzo's injured. That is, that would have made sense, because then you could at least say there's issues with all of our other midfielders, right? That would have been the much more optimal option. Now, for me, if I'm going to the second half, and I want to ask this question, I want to ask this question specifically. Do you remember Levi Cole playing football today?
What do you mean?
I genuinely did not.
I thought he was actually our best defender.
I didn't even see him. Until the second half, I forgot he was. I didn't see him
second half.
the first half.
You know what? I'm happy I didn't see him because he wasn't overlapping so much today.
Can I say why you didn't notice him in the first half, Ahmed? Because we was dominating basically Wolves in the first half.
No. What I mean, but the point I'm trying to make though, is that you gotta get to it. This is actually not when I say I haven't seen him. This is not a criticism, by the way. It's gotta go to a wider criticism on Mr. Pochettino though. Before I get that, no, I didn't see him. Second half, obviously, we were a bit more on the back foot because towards the end of the first half, they started to regain the power of the squad. Now, he actually did I think a very good job in some of the stuff that he was doing and everything like that. But for me, what I'm not understanding by Mr. Mauricio Pochettino, that's not making sense. He's playing Ian Maatsen these days as a left back with 10 minutes remaining in the game, 20 minutes remaining in the game. So I ask everyone in the chat, why is he not playing from the start then?
Well, I would say
that's a good question.
Why Poch done that?
But the amount of times now he's been playing left back now off the bench, the real question you have to ask yourself: okay, you're playing left back now.
Why is it then? Question. I think the reason is because we're losing. That's why he brought him on, because he knows that Maatsen's a more going forward left back compared to Caldwell.
Why
didn't it make sense? Because we're losing, and he wants to bring on a more attacking.
No, hang on. My point is, we saw how much having two fullbacks on the pitch helped us against Newcastle. We started dominating the wings. Why can't we ever start this? Why can't we ever start a game with some positive intent? We always have to start with a centre back in one of the fullback positions, or we have Gallagher as a defensive 10. In most games, like what are we doing here? We actually start on the front foot.
It's hard to know because no one asked Pochettino why doesn't he start Maatsen. I don't think.
No, Chris. Someone did ask
recently.
Someone did ask, and he dodged the question because he seems like he doesn't even know why.
The question was, why aren't players like Nani Madueke or Maatsen starting? I think he only answered the Nani part, which is there's a lot of competition ahead of him. That's about it.
Like the other
big up to that journalist, by the way. Just got to say that.
The other thing for me, is the changes that were made in NKUNKU, then Mudryk.
Big
up to NKUNKU. Well. Obviously, NKUNKU did score his goal, but I felt like they had little impacts on the game. We know Mudryk.
I think he was.
Who had a little impact on you?
I feel like they didn't really change the way the game was going. That's the point I'm trying to make more so.
Google, I
I
thought
disagree.
very heavily because he was very deep, like build-up play, and then he went.
What I mean by that, yeah, is that in the sense of like, did we create even more attacking options than we had before? No, I feel like yes, we created that one chance where it could have been a goal, if not for the goal line technology thing, of course, right? But other than that, really,
man, yeah, you could have got 2 goals there, man.
right? Other than that, really, no.
So,
But
my thing,
you can
go
go,
ahead.
bro. It's fine. It's
no,
okay.
I was gonna say, like, I slightly disagree because I just think when Mudryk and NKUNKU came on, we started to be more attacking. We started to go and attack more. Like Mudryk, for example, like although Mudryk didn't do anything outstanding today, he did carry the ball into the attack a lot more often. Like we were able to get into attacking areas more often than not. Doesn't mean shit because we didn't make chances out of it, and Mudryk still sometimes lost the ball. But at the end of the day, like in hindsight, I kind of wish we just started the game with Mudryk and dropped either Broja or Jackson. There was
that's
a
the-
reason
that-
to have.
I
Yeah.
hear
That's
you,
the-
man.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing, because like this Mudryk guy, low key saved your job in midweek, and you reward him with the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
That's
You know
kind of
what,
ridiculous.
I want to also like obviously we've spoken about that, yeah, but like the goal, for example, that happened today, yeah, where
Which one?
Lamina got a free header
Okay,
on goal.
okay. Yeah.
That is a manager thing, bro.
Yeah. We're not
Yeah.
practicing set
You know-
pieces or what the hell's going on. Like,
Bro, these men
But
were
then
just sleeping. Lamina, this was like.
yeah.
Ahmed, Broja was marking nobody. Broja was marking nobody. He was just standing there. And I'm not blaming Broja. I think this is because this has happened way too many times this season for it to be an individual thing. This is tactical.
Yeah. But by
Broja
the
was
way,
marking nobody. Like, what is Broja's role in this scheme? Like, what are they telling him to do?
Yeah. By the way, 70 of you guys watching, those of you who just came in, be sure to smash up the like button and subscribe because we are on our way to 3K and smashing that like button does help us tremendously. Please, it helps out the channel tremendously. On that goal, by the way, I don't even blame Leslie too much because exactly what you said. He isn't necessarily match sharp. He's not necessarily match fit. So it's like I didn't expect much out of Ugochukwu today. Let's be honest. It's hard for him to do anything when he just came out of injury. However, the part where I disagree with you, Ahmed, and this is where we talked about on Discord, and I wanted to bring it here to the conversation here, is that I feel like Poch is going to get criticized either or. Even if he started Matos, he was still going to get criticized. He was going to get reamed by the Chelsea fans. And everyone here would have criticized him as well, including myself. Because why start Matos, who has not played any games for you? He has no awareness of, like, he's not in sync of the tactics. He's not in tune with the game. He's not match fit in terms of match sharpness, I should say. So I don't expect Matos to do much. And I did look at Matos, like he did play center mid, you're right. But I just didn't think he was going to be the solution. I feel like it was more damage control
I'm
with,
not saying it has to be Matos, though.
Ugochukwu.
He just has to be a number 6 that's in that category.
Matos is our best option, though. That's the thing.
No, it doesn't need to be him though. But like we can always bring in someone else for me personally. But like that's all it is. But like for me, at the end of the day, you know, I think I've spoken enough about this game. You know, bringing a baddie short is just criminal as well, if I'm being honest. But like
Send them back at 1-0 down. Oh my god.
Exactly. That was crazy for me personally.
That's some Conte Mourinho stuff.
But like, you know, if we're being honest, guys, yeah. You know, if you remove this game, if you look at Chelsea this year, I think, you know, I always say this year is really for me a 3-pronged approach. You know what I mean? Hopefully you can see the number 3, or I should go like this actually. I don't know, I just did that before. But like
well, gangster now, bro.
The first thing is really the ownership, in the sense of like, you know, they clearly are passing over a directive of buying essentially young players. That clearly seems that is a actual directive from them. Like the thing is, yeah, even if I wanted to criticize the board directors on like the plays that they're trying to, you know, buy, like it clearly seems like a directive from the ownership to bring in young players only. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like that policy seems to be coming from them, and we need to. Of course, there is a valid criticism to be made about that in regards to when it doesn't matter what quality is. Quality should be brought, yeah, at any age, or of course maybe not like obviously 30 or 31, but like you get the point I'm trying to make. 26 or 27-year-old quality is still good quality, right? Now then, and now what's it called? Yeah, the next thing that we need to ask ourselves, the next one is the sporting directors. Now, the thing with the sporting directors for me is that I have a hard time judging what they've done wrong, if that makes sense. I have a hard time judging, what's it called? I have a hard time judging what have they done wrong, because the thing for me here is these guys, they're trying to do their best with what they've been basically directed they've been given. And if you've been on a lot of the plays they have brought, no one's really disagreed with either with the directive they've been given, if I'm being honest. Like, you can maybe make an argument, obviously, about how they handle maybe both the Inter and Caicedo transfer, but really, other than that, I don't know where I can disagree with them. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like,
I mean, off the top of my head, I can only really think of like Leslie, but that's because of Santos.
Yeah,
you know, we were going to keep Santos, but then we bought this guy from out of nowhere. That's it, really.
But that's really what it comes down to, because for me, you know, I don't really think these guys are as bad as people are making out of me. Like, the thing for me, the thing for me is, if you actually give them, tell them an actual directive, they have the choice to help to do the squad build and to do everything that needs to be done, then I don't really think them that much of an issue.
Is it just me? And Scott, I do want to hear your opinion as well, but is it just me, or do you guys have a problem with this comment below? Because
with the what?
The comment below, right here. All I can say, 1 billion would have got us a world-class starting 11 and bench. Okay, Maddie, this is where you have to put your money where your mouth is. Give me that world-class starting 11.
We need to get this billion thing. Like, this pisses me off.
I agree, Scott. And before you go on this explosive rant, I know you're going to go.
You know that
they got community noted, didn't they?
Just point something out. You know that billion, by the way, includes the transfers you made last summer.
Yeah.
So Koulibaly, Sterling, Kukurea, Carney, Fofana. That is included in that billion.
I just want to point this out before you go, Scott. Caicedo and Enzo, 2 players, were almost $250,000. So good luck coming up with the world-class remaining 9 and the bench. Be my guest, Maddie.
Well, I was going to actually forget that. If you want to include Lavia and Mudryk in that as well, that's over 4. That's what's that? 310 million, 20 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 players.
An absurd argument.
Yeah, I just want to,
and like, no one, I hate talking about the owners. The owners are not the reason why. I don't know where this conversation came from. Obviously, I was late, but like, the owners are not the reason. The sporting directors are not the reason we lost the game today. They're not the reason we're in the position we are.
No. The point we're not talking about. We're just talking about. I've been seeing a lot. What's it called? At least online, people saying everything just falls down to the ownership. Yeah, and I was saying, of course, if you're actually looking, but like I'm trying to I think give the more so nuanced approach, of like, I think where things are going, where things are at, and the sort of stuff that's pretty much going on. Because for me, I said this before. I feel like if we're being honest, I don't feel like the sporting directors have a lot of blood on their hands. If we're looking at if people think everything that's happening is wrong, I think for me actually have the least blood on their hands, because I actually think with what they've been told to do. I don't know. I don't really think they've done anything wrong. The most wrong, I would say, out of the rest of them. Maybe you could say they should have pushed back more at the ownership, saying that it's not possible just to do 25 and under. Excuse me, squad. But then you can hit back at say maybe they were happy to do so. So I'm not sure.
They're not clearly the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, I don't think like they're not the problem. But like, I think the big problem for me, if there is any of the ownership, is if they are the ones that are doing the under 25 only young players only issue. Then yes, then they are the problem there. They are the problem.
Yeah.
There.
Sorry, can I ask you? I just want to address something. God of Frogs, who are they forcing into the 11?
That is true.
Please answer. Who are they forcing into the 11?
But like.
Because this manager benched Enzo the other day.
No, fuck this. This manager wanted to keep Brozier, who missed 2 chances today.
Yeah.
This manager wanted to keep Conor Gallagher, who got outshined today by Leslie Ugochukwu. There were 2 midfielders on the pitch for Chelsea today, and Gallagher was the worst of the 2. That's the captain that Poch made captain.
Cook.
But like, I think for me, ultimately, what is happening on the pitch right now is on Mauricio. You know what I mean? It's on Mauricio, bro.
Oh no,
that's
don't get
not,
twisted. Some of it's on the players as well. Like
no. I mean, like the other stuff, but like not necessarily. Like today, I said the first half was on the players, second half was on him. But like what's been happening though in general, a lot of it really is down
Bro,
to
but
Mr. Mauricio.
do you not think we were good in the first half? Like, not the finishing, but like as in chance
No,
creation.
yeah, that's why I said the first half was on the players in the sense of they really should have been finishing their dinner.
Yeah.
So
we agree. Like, we agree.
Yeah.
God of Frogs. He's been in that position 4 times this season. We conceded 4 goals from corners because Gallagher has not marked his man.
Can I also say this about Gallagher, by the way? Alexis, big up on you, man,
fuck this. This is pissing me off now. This is pissing me off. I did not want to get pissed off. This is pissing me off.
Dear me.
We all knew.
Oh.
And if you didn't know, you're a fucking idiot. Like, straight up, if you didn't know this, you're a fucking idiot. Like, we all knew at the start of the season after we signed Jackson and we went into the season with Jackson and Brozier as our strikers, we all knew the plan was either Tony, who wasn't playing football at the time, still hasn't played a game of football, by the time he kicks a football, won't have kicked a football for like 8 months, or whatever the fuck it's been, and Osimhen, who is going to cost us 120 million. I'm arrogant and rude, by the way, because people make stupid points. If you don't like it, fuck off.
It's not even stupid. It's just repetitive. It's the same thing over and over again with no substance.
It's stupid.
But Scott, you know what I will say?
No common sense. There's no thought in it. There's no thought in it.
Scott, what I would say is, it doesn't have to be just Osimhen and Tony. Maybe the recruitment team should do their fucking job. Maybe you do what Spurs did. You go get Maddison for 40 million. Maybe you go get a Van de Ven for 50 million. Maybe you go get Vicario for 20 million. Like, what if they just, they go and find a genuine player that bangs, and maybe not. The player doesn't need to be 21 or 22. What if you go get me a 70 million pound player that is 25, 24 years old and just can do a decent job? No, but the thing is, did you know who Van de Ven was?
Yes.
I didn't, right? So this is it. I didn't know who Vicario was. Yeah, I didn't know who Idoji was this good. I knew Pedro Porro, but that's because I watched Sporting Lisbon. But
Man said Vlahovic, who's been injured twice this season.
No, Vlahovic is not the solution, man. Vlahovic.
Alexis, can I ask you a question, bro? Do you not think, though? I personally believe, their research and everything led them to Jackson. I feel like Jackson was actually their punt, if I'm not mistaken.
But then you don't just, for example, I
hear you, though. I agree with you. They shouldn't be throwing him to the walls, but I think,
you can't go Jackson Ambrosio.
Exactly.
You go Jackson plus experience.
For me, this is why I think, again, this is where the young player directive hurts Chelsea more so than a lot of people believe. Because for me, if that's the case, at least bring in a bit of an older statement. Someone like Taremi, I said this before, Taremi would have not been bad, to have for a season or two.
Ahmed, that's a great idea, but guess what? Poch wanted to keep Brozier, but we're not backing the manager, apparently.
No. I get you. You can keep Broha, and you can.
But it makes no sense. It makes no sense to have 3 strikers in your team, unless you're signing Taremi on loan. Which,
by the way, boys, I wanted to say something to you guys.
Go ahead, bro.
I might be Poch out for but not for the reason that you lot think. So I still stand by the point. I don't know who we're going to replace him with, but I think his job's untenable at the moment based on results.
I agree with you.
I don't want to sack him because I don't know who's going to come in, but it's their job to decide that. But the second half subs today, it's what Scott said. It's happened 4 times now. And 4 times in 18 games is this pattern. It's not a fluke. It's a trend. Either one of you, please, or any of you, explain to me the logic behind his substitutions today. Because I didn't understand. We're chasing a game. You take off a centre back. Yeah, you take off a centre back to bring a full back on.
We did that the whole game, by the way. The back 3 thing, we did the whole game.
Yeah. We were doing that whole, the tacticals have been saying 3-2-5. We were doing that, and they said the minute we revert to it, we're going to be fantastic again. Well, we reverted. No fantastic. Man, I think these players are better than what we're seeing. And I've been, as Chelsea fans, we've been through this where we think these players are horrible and lackluster. And then a competent manager comes in and all of a sudden Rudiger goes from oh, we have to sell him, Christensen, we have to sell him to Champions League winners.
Yeah.
And I don't think these lot are going to be Champions League winners because we're not in the Champions League or top 4 players, but I think they're top 6 players. Like you have NKUNKU. I don't think it's coincidental that Sterling doesn't pass the ball today, by the way. I'm fuming at him, but I don't think it's because he's selfish. I think he just doesn't rate Jackson to score. And that's really worrying.
But bro, it was Cole Palmer that was next to him, bro. It wasn't even Jackson.
I don't know, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
City,
Like,
City,
it's not
City
even like
teammate.
it's not even like even Jackson. It's like his former teammates next to him, bro. That's what makes it, I think, worse for me. But like, I just for me.
Also, on the subs thing, by the way, do you know what's funny? Outside of NKUNKU, our next best sub was the player that this manager doesn't want to play.
Ian Matson.
That still baffles me.
Not Matson. Madueke.
yeah, Madueke.
Oh.
The thing is, though, I understand why Madueke is not playing. I really understand it.
Honestly, Alexis, it just cracks me up. Like, this guy is basically like persona non grata at this football club, like under this manager. And of all the players that came off the bench today, he was the guy outside of NKUNKU who had the next most impact.
Bro,
It cracks me up.
do you know, yeah, like this whole situation really irritates me, you know, like, because Petrovic looks like a competent goalkeeper. I'm not even going to say he's great. I just going to call him competent because we haven't seen enough to call him like anything more than that. But then other than that, we start going through. Gusto is young, so we're going to go through roller coasters. Why is the Sassy playing? Like, you know, Badiashile got a lot of flack for his mistake for the goal. Bro, the Sassy's no better, man. Like, after we conceded the goal, did you see the Sassy's footwork? We almost conceded a second one straight after. There was panic stations, and he underhit a pass, and I think Colwell hugged their number 11. I don't know his name.
Chan.
Probably
Yeah.
He
He hugged him and he pulled him onto the ground, and it should have been a penalty in my opinion because he was grinding on him nicely, like.
Yeah.
Man was grinding on him, like.
Hey, man.
Like there was no need to grab him by the waist like that. You're not in a nightclub, bro. Like.
Nah, man. It feels like, bro, like everything feels like very erratic defensively. I think defensively in general, we feel so erratic, bro. It feels like, the whole back line is like scared.
Bro, there's no structure.
Exactly.
I think that's
Ahmed, we are worse this season than we were last season defensively.
But this, I think for me, me and Scott have said this, but this comes down to, the formation, the tactics, and all of this stuff. But like with Poch, I don't really see that. Again, we are for 6 months, I believe now, almost into the season. I'm not seeing any of this. This guy has really won one game,
Ahmed,
bro.
But Ahmed, 9 games. So first 9 games, yeah, you're gonna say it's gonna be inconsistent. It was 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Yeah. The next 9 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. We've conceded 19 goals in the next 9 games in comparison to the first 9, where we conceded 9. And the thing is, I get you're going to say it's difficulty of opposition, but at the same time, we have had some dead teams like that we've played against.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alexis, we've lost more games this season than Bournemouth, who have a manager in charge that's been managing for 2 years.
And Bournemouth play a better style of football.
Iraola was on a losing streak for quite a while. He
started the season. Not even this. He started the season with no wins in 9 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's mad to me, yeah, and this is another reason. Like I made a competent I actually sat down and I made a competent list of reasons, right? And I was like, I don't want to be somebody like that just says Poch out for no reason, right?
Exactly.
And I had 5 reasons why I would get rid of him. Poor in-game management. I don't see it like long term.
100%.
I don't see his halftime team talks having no impact. We come out all the time drawing. Second half, we concede within the first 15 minutes. I blame managers' team talk. They're not switched on. So that means they're not reciprocating what he's saying at halftime. 6 wins in 18 is unacceptable for me in the league. He's very reactive, not proactive. He waits for something to go wrong, then he tries to fix it, and then he panics, and then he throws the kitchen sink at
Kitchen
it.
sink, yeah.
Yeah. And the final one, and this is the one that bothers me the most. His system, like, it is built around players like Gallagher rather than players like Enzo. And for me, that's a problem.
Yep.
That is a problem. You know, not because Enzo cost 105 million, but because anyone with a brain can see which one of them is going to be world class and which one of them could be in a relegation battling team and start on a weekly basis, and no one will see that he's like, say, oh, you know what, maybe Man City should buy it. Because I tell you now, tomorrow, Enzo will go to a top flight club. Gallagher will go to West Ham.
But that's the thing, Alex, though. Like, we've noticed that his main guy is Gallagher for a reason, because Gallagher does the most of the stuff that he needs to get done. But like, if that's the case, if that's the thing that we've all seen, for me, that probably explains why Enzo and Caicedo is not working, because he's basically accommodating those guys for Gallagher. He's essentially.
The other thing too that I've been thinking about this a lot with the whole Gallagher thing and everyone losing their heads over Gallagher being sold is I feel like people aren't taking into context that we're only playing Gallagher in that position because we're missing number 10s. Carney's out with an injury and NKUNKU's just coming back. Yes, you can play Palmer there, but Palmer's best position this season has been at that right wing. I'd rather play Palmer in that right wing. So to compensate, we've been playing Gallagher in the number 10 position. And listen, say what you want about Gallagher. Yes, he's been okay. Yes, he's been great and all this and that. But he's not a proper attacking number 10. He doesn't fit into...
Marshall. And then...
He's got to play like a captain, though.
And not only that, they switched him. And that's what pisses me off. They switched him to accommodate Gallagher. They put Enzo in the 10 because Gallagher can't do the 10 role. So you're just...
Thank you.
And then when Enzo's having stink fests, they're saying, yeah, Enzo's shit and everything like that. He's getting thrown. This guy, I saw this guy at one point playing left wing. I saw Caicedo, remember last week when Caicedo was playing on the wing?
Oh, I think it's Newcastle, yeah.
Ahmed, you think that's bad? Ahmed, I saw Brozier play right wing today.
Yes, I saw him, bro.
By the way, boys, he needs to get sold.
It's nuts, bro. It's nuts.
If it happens, it happens.
I like Brozier, but he's so one-dimensional. It's unreal. Yeah. Like he's so
I don't have 7 years.
As a striker.
I don't have 7 years.
It's not even the 7. It's not even the 7 years thing. Like, it's a similar thing of like. It's almost a similar thing with like Maatsen, where it's like you're not going to get the best out of your career here. Like, especially if we stick with this manager, like we might as well sell him because we're not going to get what we need out of him, and he's not going to get like to where he wants to go being here with the way we're playing. Like, it's not a good match. Like, we might as well sell him because it's not a good match in any way.
It won't happen in January, though. It's going to be in the summer.
I think it'll be in January.
Yeah,
I think they're going
to.
I could see play at striker.
But there's an elephant in the room. There's an elephant in the room that we're missing. You know, there's an elephant in the room. We're not missing. Which is, technically it's 25. Like the next hour. But like in 6 days, transfer window's gonna open. And I don't know. Like there was like rumors. I'm already hearing about 5 players that they're probably trying to bring in January alone. And from what it seems, even though many of us probably would be like, okay, he needs to go. I don't feel like he's gonna go. So whoever they're gonna bring in for this guy, whoever he may be, I don't know who he's gonna be, because I look into the market right now and there's a lot of players currently that I feel are locked up. Even if you were to say bring this guy in,
do you know who I think they're gonna get? And I've never seen him play. But I've got a feeling it's going to be that Stuttgart number 9.
You mean Girassi?
I don't
know. That's not a terrible option. Like,
I've never seen him play
for the price.
Wait,
it's not
100 million euros.
No, his release clause is 17.5 mil. Yeah,
17.5. He's 26.
It's not.
Panic
17. Buy, okay.
That actually feels like a panic buy, by the way. That genuinely.
I'll be real. That's not the worst deal you could do. It's not.
Isn't he going to AFCON as well, though?
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, no, he is. Never mind.
If he's either Senegalese or Mali, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
No, he's Ghanaian.
Ghanaian, my bad then.
My days, what are we doing?
But that's what I'm saying to you. Like, I'm just even if I was to say, let's look at the striker market. You then got Gyökeres, who I rate highly, but like again, for me, he's another Jackson in the sense of when you bring this guy in, I'm not going to be expecting him to be hitting 10, 12, 15 goals straight away. I'm not expecting.
Yeah,
that from him.
and for the price, you can't have that. He's 85 million.
Exactly. So, and then obviously it seems that Tony's on his way to Arsenal. And then even if people were to say bring in Osimhen, I don't even feel like the system that's currently available is even beneficial to be bringing that guy in. Let alone the price that he's gonna cause you.
But by the way, Osimhen
I'll
scores
be-
2 goals today. Osimhen
Oh yeah,
scores 2.
100%.
Yeah, because
Ahmed, I'll be completely honest in the system. Like with seeing how NKUNKU played today, and that's not a fully fit NKUNKU, I'd be more than happy to go kind of like what Podge was trying to do in points at preseason, where it was like that weird 4-3 feel, like a 4-1-4-1, and have NKUNKU a striker, and then go the 2 centre mids as like the 2 8s as Enzo and Caicedo, and have Lavia in the 6. Like that's what I'd go moving forward when everyone's fit.
that's what I would do too.
Or if you want to, if you're a bit unsure about Lavia, cool, put Caicedo in the 6, Enzo and Carney when everyone's fit.
But the
Okay.
thing is, I think it's
That
horses
works, yeah.
for courses, right? I think it's horses for courses, and I think you're spot on. I think in games when we're playing against deep blocks, it's the second one that you said, where
Yeah.
Caicedo plays in the 6. I think in games where it's a little bit more competitive away from home, that midfield could, like with Lavia, works perfectly. And we need to remember, Lavia shouldn't be playing every week. He's 19. Like him and Carney are technically on the same level, apart from a transfer fees inflated for one. Like realistically,
I would say, well, Lavia is used to playing for like a whole season under Southampton at least, but he is like.
But Carney's had
Car-
injuries. Otherwise, he's had 2 seasons of Premier League football. Like as in not playing, but he's been in and around squads and he's had minutes.
Was he Villa's main starter though? Because I know we bought him for like.
No, he
cheap.
wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I mean.
He played like I think
Yeah, I thought
2
he was.
years ago. I think he played about 200 minutes ish.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's not a bad thing as a kid. Like sometimes I think we rush him in and try to give him too many minutes too quickly. Like
Was that
I think.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No,
I was gonna say,
no, you're bad.
yeah, is that where we have to like try and sign like, like the model was obviously under 25 now, like, but like maybe we like revert and go
No, it
actually like, wasn't it? I thought our model was like 25,
No,
26 or younger.
It wasn't.
I
If the whole 25 and younger thing was true, then we wouldn't have been looking at Tony for a year. We wouldn't be looking at Jonathan Tarr. We wouldn't be looking at who else is on that list that we've supposedly been looking at.
We're looking at him. Oh, okay. I didn't know we're looking at him.
Like that thing's never been the case. It got reported by like one people, and people were like
It's
one.
just because how many?
people ran with it.
We have signed a lot of players like 25 or under. Like Disasi's 25, of course, but like I'd want Chelsea like. If you don't want to play all these youngsters, then obviously start. I mean, I don't think even Mudrik's ready. I'd want to sign some 24, 25-year-olds as well, like just to mix it, like balance it out because I don't like a fully.
Do you know what's
squad.
Do you know what's
What I
really
know.
bad though? I feel like out of that £1 billion that we have spent and that everyone inflates like and says, "Oh, this is bad, this is good," I think some of the signings this summer aren't that are meant to be kind of experience on of the quality of experience that we need. We don't need just experience. We genuinely need quality. Like the Sassy.
I think that's the thing, because
Exactly.
we got the experience last summer, and now if like Koulibaly was shit, like you'd argue, I will make the argument that he was our worst centre back last season.
Yeah,
Like he was
bro,
terrible.
by the way, Scott, you
Like-
know what I was asked on my group chat today? Would Chelsea have been in a better position this year if instead of Jackson, they kept the Aubameyang, instead of bringing in Disasi, they just kept Koulibaly, and they just kept either Kovacic or Kante around, one of the two, instead of
who?
going in for, well, one of the
Probably
midfielders that
Lavia.
we signed is. Yeah, is like, would they have been in a better position this year?
I
And
don't
my
think so.
question is, I don't know because I genuinely don't know if Koulibaly was just having a bad season because due to the instability in the new league, or whether he was actually finished. I don't know.
The problem I always had with Koulibaly is he always looked panicked on the ball, like, and that's the one thing I won't say about Disasi is for the most part, obviously there's been peaks and troughs, but for the most part I wouldn't say he's looked panicked on the ball in
His long
possession.
passing is good. I like it.
Yeah, and I like Koulibaly all the time he had the ball, especially after that Leeds game, just looked panicked all the time. Like It was like watching Kurt Zuma play football again, but like he'd aged 10 years.
To be fair to Aubameyang, he actually's been doing.
Aubameyang, I don't know, because like the thing with Aubameyang, right? I understand he didn't get a lot of time, but even when he played, he was not good. Like that's what people forget is even when he played, he wasn't good. He offered nothing. Like he was literally that like typical poacher, like not even a Giroud type. It was literally typical poacher. Like you're offering literally nothing. Like you're playing with 10 men, like kind of how Lukaku was. Like you're playing with 10 men, hoping that when you reach the point of he needs to score, he can, which he did a couple of times, and that was about it. But outside of that, he was just not it.
The one thing I remember
So,
about
I don't know.
like, is this link up with Sterling was actually pretty good at the start with under Tuchel, but then it kind of faded away. Obviously,
He never played under Tuchel. I think, or he played like 45 minutes.
He played 56 minutes.
Oh no, yeah, my bad. But he did play with. I remember him playing with Sterling. Their link up. I know.
Aubameyang was starting early on under Potter, and yeah, them two were playing together for a bit, and then it switched to Havertz.
But you know what's really interesting?
We've had too many managers.
Man, I fucking hate Lukaku, man. Why could he just not fix his ego for 1 year? Stay just for this 1 year. Because I genuinely think, right, he would score goals in this. Like today, where Jackson had the ball.
He probably gets like
Marshall, you said you want a striker who strikes the ball. There you go. He strikes the ball.
By the way,
just hits it.
If Jose returns next year, the way they're saying it, like people are trying to like talk into existence. Don't be shocked if Lukaku's our striker next year.
Can I talk about the Jose point here? I want to talk about the Jose point.
Bad that we're
the
talking
Jose
about
point for me. These people think I don't know about. I don't necessarily agree with this school of thought, but I think people. The reason why they're saying bring Jose back is because they feel these players don't have the No, I said these people. I don't say you. Chris, chill out, big man, right? But like, but the point they're trying to make is that I feel like they think that these players don't have essentially what's the word I'm looking for a backbone in it, or like some sort of like there's a mentality. They don't have the mineral days, but I think for me what they really mean is that they don't believe these players have the mentality essentially. But like the issues right now is not necessarily a mentality issue. Right now it's a tactical issue. For me, more that's the main thing for us. You can then obviously question if some of these players then are maybe out of form or if they're just not good enough afterwards. But like really for me, first and foremost, it's a formation and tactical problem right now that needs to get solved before we can start saying if these guys have a mentality issue or not. Because we can't just say every single time these players are bad and bad. This is a whole new squad, guys. There's only 3 players from the previous regime or 4. So,
but the thing is with Jose, he will set them up tactically. It's just not going to suit the players we have, right?
Exactly.
Man, I can't wait for that NDA that Viville signed to expire. Because when you leave a job, you have like a year that you're not allowed to talk about them legally, or 2 in some cases. Well, you think Viville's not going to speak one day about what happened with him, with Nagelsmann potentially getting hired? We heard all the stories about whether he wanted Joao Felix, whether he wanted Szoboszlai. Like, all the players he wanted were getting shut down. I can't wait for him to speak and just shit all over this club, because we need that, like, dose of truth. Because they really spun a lot of wool over people's eyes when they said Pochettino was always the favourite. We didn't want Nagelsmann. We didn't want Enrique. I don't believe any of that. I genuinely don't. Like, I think they were stuck with Poch at the end because the other 2 wouldn't have taken the job under the conditions. Which sucks when you actually think about it, how much we've fallen.
Got here
But that's what again, I think this is where the ownership have to take accountability. Like, either you need to start, what was it called? You need to start, stop making these mistakes, of course, first and foremost. But you also need to realize, your way is not going to solve everything. You know what I mean? Your way is not going to solve everything, especially when you don't have the experience to be doing that anyway. So
Chelsea could potentially have 11 players out for Palace on Wednesday through injuries and suspensions.
That makes sense, though. Like, that was the case today as well.
We're almost we're almost guaranteed as well. We're guaranteed to see Mudryk play.
We have like 8 players out now, I think.
I say we're guaranteed to see Madueke play, but he'll probably play Matson or Brozier on the wing again.
Yeah, I reckon what he's going to do is going to
Does
go.
NKUNKU play start next game, Jack, on Wednesday?
He has to. I'm sorry, he has to
He-
start.
I would
Probably,
like him to
probably
start.
play 60
Has
minutes.
No, like he has to start.
70 minutes. I think 70 minutes he can push maybe. About that.
What did he
He
play
has to
today?
start.
We pushed
He
Leslie
played.
today.
He
and-
played.
Like,
Played like
30.
20 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, I thought like 30 or so. And his impact was actually quite good for how short it was again, because like he was like in everywhere, like position deep to high.
Bro,
and
I'm so
almost
pissed off
scored
at
2 goals.
Sterling, man. Sterling
he
getting
got
suspended is so annoying, you know, because the thing is, as useless as he is, at times, he's actually competent enough where you're like, oh, okay, I know, like 9 times out of 38 games, I'm gonna get a decent Sterling across the season, where we're raving about him. Like,
That's the thing, Alexis. Like outside of that miss, which was horrible, he was
had a good
quality today. Yeah, he was
He had a
quality
good
today.
game. I got
There was
cooked for
those
saying that.
passes, by the way. The one to Brozier, like the first one, like that's perfect. To just all you need to do
Whack
is
it.
like either like you can take a touch there, but it's got to be like a quick touch out your feet and hit it straight away, or just a first time snapshot. That was a perfect pass.
Bro, you know what chance pissed me off? The cut back to Broya. Bro, come on,
Oh,
that's 2.
We went
That's
under his
taken
legs,
10
didn't it?
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
he air kicked it.
Alexis, the one for me, like there's annoying. The one for me was the Jackson one at the back post. This guy has
Jackson
a tap in at the back
missed the
post, and
touch.
it goes through his legs. Like,
you guys are right. I was so blinded by rage earlier in the stream that I forgot that Sterling, he ended up getting an assist today, which whatever, it doesn't
Sterling
reflect
should have
on his
scored as well,
performance.
though.
yeah, that was a
Like,
good
he
assist. To be
should
fair.
have
Like,
scored.
that was a good ball.
She
He
got
had
2 assists
two
and
clean-
scored.
He had
But-
2 clean chances.
Yeah, he did create some chances today that should have
You
been
know what
put
it
away
is?
by the
The
snipers.
best example for me, I told you, bro. Sterling, yeah, he's like a D&D player. Like, you know, in the story, you'll be playing him. You know, everything will be working out. But when you need that decision to be made, you have to hit. He has to hit a right number, yeah, that number 7, yeah, on that, what's it called, dice. Otherwise, anything else, you're gonna be in pain. You know what I mean? Watching.
You know,
take
maybe in
place.
my next prediction, I'll roll a 20-sided die and I'll decide whether or not we win. the
Genuinely,
game.
bro. That's what for me. That's the way it comes down to it. Because he'll
But you
do
know-
everything right, yeah. Just
Bro,
the
but you
last
know,
bit
yeah.
will fail him.
Ahmed, but you know what we're saying about Sterling?
Yeah.
Realistically, how many goals do we expect Sterling to score in a Premier League season? Honestly, like
With
not
his
what
first
we
team.
wanted. With
10
any
to 15
team.
probably.
I
10
was
to
gonna
How
say
much?
probably around about 10 to 12.
Yeah, about that.
That's my number. 10 to 12.
Mhm.
And he's on track.
He is on track.
Like,
Yeah.
like in 30 games, like if he plays 30 games, I think he's going to score 1 in 3. And today, like against Palace, I can see him get 1 or 2, like if he was going to play, because of the way they'll go silent. And that's not a problem. We just need more Sterlings, because NKUNKU will get that as well. Brozier and Jackson, I don't trust, man. Jackson's got 7 goals
You know
this
what?
year. And I just
You know
don't trust
Jackson's
him
gone
at all.
next week, right?
I
You
was
know
gonna-
Jackson's gone next week.
Is he actually gone next week?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I've
apparently
got
so.
next week.
But yeah, do you know what's mad as well? Like you say that, like even with Jackson, you say on the on-course thing, like even with Jackson as bad as he was today, our front three, you take NKUNKU out of it, our front three is on course to hit like top 35 plus goals in the league.
We're already doing better than so many other teams as well. Like,
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, and
Wait,
it's
and,
even
You can't
Arsenal,
blame
like they're top
Poch,
of the
can
league.
you?
Look at theirs.
like you see, what's annoying is we can't
Wow,
even
I just
blame
looked how many
Poch
goals
because
his Sterling's had. Sorry, he said 5 and 5 in the
we
Premier League.
create chances, man. We genuinely create. Like, you can't say, under like what's it called, Frank, we were useless. We weren't creating chances. We weren't retaining the ball. So you were like, we're genuinely that bad. With Poch for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm like, we're actually a good team. Like, we just can't finish. But then we have spells where I'm like, this is horrible. Like, we have no clue what we're doing. And
Alex, those spells
don't-
come after we concede. Have you noticed that?
and when we start
I
games.
got told
When
a
we start
stat
games.
earlier. I got told a stat earlier, and this goes back to what you were saying, Alexis, about the half time. I got told a stat. I had to check that it's true. It is. We have never this season in 18 games been behind at half time
We've never been behind
In the league.
at half time.
in the league. we have never been behind at halftime.
Is that real?
Wait,
Yes, that's
you
real. I went to
serious?
look it up. In the league, we've never been down, like behind. Like we might have conceded, but we then got a goal back. We've never been behind.
Yes, we're
at
either
halftime
leading or
this season.
tied.
Oh my god,
So how the fuck have we got 8 losses?
that's
'Cause this-
insane to me.
Because this manager's playing tic-tac-toe at half-time with the lads. Like, there's no team talk. It's just a game of tic-tac-toe.
They're definitely
Oh
playing
my
fast,
god,
This is a sackable offense. Like
they're gonna
Jane-
stick with him. That's the problem, though.
Do you know what I always say as well? Goal difference is a great indicator of what kind of team you are halfway through a season.
We're plus one, aren't we?
Zero now. No, it's
Yeah,
zero now.
Yeah,
ours
plus
is-
one.
We're still okay.
Ours is 1, which tells me we're shit. Because it means when we win, we don't win by more than like 1 or 2. And when we lose comfortably. So our goal difference is basically close to 0.
Do you know what's mad?
We've,
Alexis,
we've
do you know what's mad?
also handed out
Alexis, do you know what's insane, though?
bad losses this season.
Our goal difference, by the way, is the same as West Ham's. They're 8 points better off than us.
Yeah.
Like, just
But
don't
you
have
know,
words.
I was watching West Ham yesterday, and I was like, we are falling off because I take Pochettino in my team, I take Bowen in my team, I take Kudos in my team, and I was like, shit. Apart from NKUNKU, I've just taken the other 3.
I don't know where they play
Like-
though. I wouldn't take Kudus in this team because I don't see where he plays.
Kudus will go to the right. NKUNKU will go through the middle. You have what's it called, Bowen on the
Sterling on the
left,
left. Oh,
and then
yeah.
Pochettino in the 10.
Oh, you have NKUNKU as a striker.
Yeah,
So Bowen's not a left winger though, bro. Like he doesn't play left.
He's
winger,
a right winger. Sorry. Put him right then, and you put Kudos on the left. Then who would you
So
put? Sterling?
Kudus isn't a yeah.
But-
Kudus isn't a left winger either. And so what's
He's a
happening with
10 or
Palmer?
right
This is kind of the thing I dislike about the whole Kudus thing. Like Kudus is having a great season,
Yeah.
but we couldn't have got him in Palmer, and I'm not taking him over Palmer with the impact
could have
Palmer's
fit
had on this
Kudos,
team.
Scott.
No, we couldn't. Where?
Yeah, okay. This season, right? I can say this season would have Cole Palmer on the right, and NKUNKU strike, Kudos as a 10 because he can play as a 10, and Sterling on the left.
Yeah, but that's not his best position. His best position is out wide on the right.
Yeah, or you could have Cole
And then
Palmer as
what
a
do you
10,
do?
but
What
I
do you
don't know,
do
that's-
when all the players we get back come back?
Well, like Jackson and all that.
No, like Carney and like Lavia. Like what's happening with them?
They can go. In all fairness,
They're
like,
they're just work
I-
experience.
No, but I honestly think Carney's gonna be a feature, like,
Internships.
as a bench
That's what
player.
I'm saying. Like there's
rotation.
no that if we did stuff like that, that's what we did last season. That's what pissed me off about last season. It was just a hoarding. Like we have kind of done that this season, but it's with the younger players. Last
Yo,
season we
the
had like 40, we had like a 40-man squad because we just kept too many players in January. We didn't get rid of them. We did the same thing.
Marshall, as a YouTuber, get ready to work a lot in January, big man. Because I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many like
Yeah,
there's
there's
gonna be
some
so
mad.
many rumors.
Oh, I
There's gonna be
bet.
so
I
many-
bet.
Marshall,
Bro,
Oh.
I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna
Moving
go back to my
house, moving
transfer.
studio.
Remember my transfer videos, Marshall, that I used to do. Bang them up for free every day. Literally, that's the minute.
No,
Bang.
casually,
Gone.
Chelsea's gonna be popping off, man. I just want to read this comment before, and we can continue the conversation. Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino on the missed big chances. We were talking a lot at the beginning of the season. We were young in age. It's a young team. We have players playing for the first time in the league. They need to adapt. It is confidence and about quality. We need to score if we want to win games. We are very disappointed. Sometimes we have to keep a clean sheet if we cannot score. We conceded too many corners. We need to keep going and pushing. Young teams learn from this sort of. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But he's not wrong
I mean,
though.
he's-
Like
He's not
everything
wrong,
he
but
said
how
is
many
right.
times do you have to say that, Alexis? That's the thing. How many
It's not
of these
even that
learning
he's
experiences
wrong.
do you need?
It's not even that he's wrong. It's more just a case of like, there's a lot of what he said here that you could just take out and just not say, and like basically, you could just leave it at that first paragraph. And
But the
I'm
thing
totally
is, he
cool with
has
that.
to speak. Like this is what I think we don't understand. He has media requirements that he has to fulfill, right? And he's bummed out more than us, like because he's about to lose his job and his everything he's ever worked for is gonna go down the drain. So I'm guessing he's almost trying to get excuses out there and express why things are going wrong. And I feel sorry. This is why I feel sorry for him, man. I genuinely feel sorry for him. Because I don't think he's as bad as what we're seeing.
I disagree.
Well, you think?
know.
What you think? You think?
I think he
You
is
think
that
he's
bad.
a right?
Because
I
like
think the
what
biggest
I
thing for me,
and I think some of this is on me for not doing enough research into him before he came and only doing it after he came. But like, there's an interview that Alex Goldberg did with Julian Laurens, and there's a little clip that someone posted in a group chat I'm in of like 9 seconds where Laurens talks about the same thing in terms of training. Like, there are basically reports where it's like there's no tactical stuff going on in training at PSG. There was none.
You know, Alex from the Athletic.
He's, I can't think of his last name.
He's got
I know
ginger
the one
hair.
you're talking about. Yeah, he did a video about him. Yeah,
When
about
we
he
got
like not being able to break
linked
lock.
with
Oh,
him-
you're an expert.
Yeah, Euro expert.
Yeah,
When we got linked with him, he released a video, yeah? You know how he like describes his playing style? And he said, don't jump on me all at once, but Poch is not going to work. And everything he explained in that like 2-minute clip has come to fruition. He was like, he doesn't build up plays. He struggles against low blocks. He plays with 3 centre halves, meaning he has one less player in the final third. He has a defensive midfielder always in front of the 3, which essentially is useless because like you're overprotecting. And
do you know what the stupidest thing is? Is like we're not overprotecting anything because we're terrible defensively now.
yeah, but when you play Gallagher, like, can someone explain to me the logic in having Gallagher as the connection between the attack and midfield and defense?
I don't know, but by the way, you know, it's his man that put the cross in for the last goal.
Yeah, I saw he ran off him. Someone said Kovac is defending. Couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my!
Oh my god! Oh my.
Someone literally said, "Oh, look at this."
That's a good one, actually. Yeah.
They're like, he looks at him and just refuses to chase after him. And I'm like, classic. By the way, this is how I know we're in the mud, because I'm not even like, I'm upset for 15 minutes after the game, and then I'm just like, bro, I've been doing this all season. Like, this shit. What can we do?
Alexis, I literally, so I'm with my family, like at my nan's house at the moment. I watched the game, finished, turned it off, went downstairs to talk to my family. Like, I didn't even care.
Yeah.
I legit didn't care.
Bro, I don't even watch the game properly anymore, man. I literally just go out for like brunches now whenever Chelsea's playing with just my mates. Literally just go out, eat the food, like that. I just check the score on my phone quickly. Okay, just move on. Literally.
I'll tell you what, the Discord watch-alongs make it a lot easier.
Yeah, they do. Just a vent at the time.
Honestly,
And having Lewis's hate-alongs in the background as well, you know.
I feel like last season desensitized me so much. Like,
it did, yeah.
Period. Like, especially with Lampard, yeah, where it was just L,
vibes.
L.
Bro,
it was just like so much. Yeah, I was
so
like,
the Lampard part, yeah. We booked my stag do. We were in Portugal. During the Bournemouth game, and the boys were like, "Oh, yo, let's go find a Chelsea pub. Like, let's go find a pub to watch the Chelsea game." I was like, "Are you crazy? We're on a stag do. Do you want me to get upset? I'm not watching that." And literally, I didn't check the score until 10 at. So we're going to a bar at 10 at night, and then one of my boys goes, "You know, Chelsea won." And I was like, "No, they didn't." And I genuinely didn't believe him that we won a game. That's how desensitized I became, like, with watching the team, because I just want bare minimum enjoyment of watching football, and I wasn't getting it. And I really hope it doesn't get back to that point this season. Like, because if it does, then we are in serious trouble. Like, I watch more different teams now than I ever have. And I don't think it's a coincidence because I get more enjoyment out of watching other teams. That's a really sad thing to say.
Bro, Alexis, yeah, I never used to watch international football until 2 seasons ago, bro. Like, properly. Now I know the Serie A teams like no before. I can tell you who the new up-and-coming League 1 players are.
Oh, I'm starting to watch Sporting now. God damn it.
Bro, I never did this before, man. It's crazy.
I was buying a new computer during the game, man. I was barely paying attention. I feel you on that.
Honestly, like, I think I've watched more Barcelona, who are trash, by the way, this year, They are
They're bad.
absolutely
They're
trash.
very bad. Yeah.
I've watched a lot of PSG this year. I've watched a lot of Sporting this year. Like, I just genuinely just AC Milan, like whatever's on like TNT Sport for like those games, I'll be watching it because
Oh my god.
at least I get certain level of enjoyment with football.
That's not a
Lord.
Chelsea fan, man. That's a guy
No, this is,
trolling.
you know, it's been so bad this season that it's driving Chelsea fans crazy. We literally just had a discussion earlier about bringing Lukaku back. Now we have people in my comments saying Frank Lampard get a tune out of these guys.
Hey, no, scrap this
It's
season,
bad,
this
man.
year.
This year, yeah, that's true.
No.
We said that last year, man. Let's scrap last year. And now we're saying about this year.
I just
Scrap
want
this
to
year.
quickly answer
Next
the
year,
Francis
scrap that
comment.
next year.
I want to answer the Francis comment quickly. Yeah, bro, they brought in someone to do that last season. I mean, how did that go?
It went pretty well.
By the
You
way,
mean-
guys,
no, wasn't it the old man coach that they brought in? That's why I was saying this.
Lampard got a tune out of him.
by the way, so the next few games, yeah, this is why I don't think Poch was going to get sacked. Palace at home, we expect a win.
Maybe.
I don't
Yes.
know.
No,
If
Every
yes.
time
got
anyone
like,
asks you this, I just say I don't know.
No,
Because
but you know what, like,
it's so unpredictable.
Forget like the negative stuff and like the realism part of me. Like this is just expectations now. Like I'm gonna be so honest. I'm seeing all of our games up till
Liverpool,
let's say up till Liverpool. We should win every single one.
which is Palace at home, Luton away, Preston at home, Middlesbrough away, Fulham at home, Borough at home. If we
Like
can't
actually,
win,
Bro,
actually,
I can't.
forget that. Let's go even further. Let's go up to City. So that includes then Liverpool away, Wolves at home, and Palace away. The Liverpool game is the only game I'll accept dropping points in. Like realistically,
well,
every
you're
other game
being
we should
very
win.
upset because we were going to drop points.
Obviously, Alex, as I said, realistically, we're going to drop points in those games because we're playing like shit. I'm saying from a expectation standpoint of like where what we should be doing, we should be the only game we should be dropping points in is that Liverpool game.
I want Poch to just say fuck it. I'm not gonna be scared of playing Maatsen at left back and just see what happens. Play left Maatsen. Left
He doesn't
back
rate Maatsen. He doesn't rate Maatsen.
Well, every
Like,
time
I
I know, like, whatever reason it is, but every time I see Maatsen play, I think he's been playing pretty well at left back. Going forward, he's been doing all right. Defensively, doesn't seem too much of an issue. Like, even when the Newcastle game, we took control when we had actually two fullbacks playing, like Maatsen and Gusto. So it just, it doesn't actually make sense.
He doesn't.
Alexis,
He doesn't like
to. Go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
I was just saying, going back to what you were saying about the criticisms of Poch and why, you listed why you wanted Poch out. I think one thing that I wanted to add to that list is the fact that this guy is either stubborn or a coward. When it comes to giving Madueke playtime, when it comes to giving, like, we all see it. When Maatsen comes on and plays left wing back or left back, we improve. We look a little better going forward than having Colwell there. Yet he still insists on Colwell. If Chilwell were still fit, I guarantee you he would still be insisting with Chilwell left wing from time to time.
Do you know what's stupid though, Marshall? And I don't understand, and I've noticed this the past couple of games when Maatsen's played left back. I don't know if this is a natural thing he keeps doing or this is a Poch instruction, but he keeps inverting into midfield.
Scott, I think it's natural. I've heard people that watched Burnley last season say that he could overlap and underlap, so it's kind of like he's able to do both. So maybe it is an instruction. But
the only reason I mentioned that and picked that up is because Colwell can do the same thing. Like that's probably better for him to do that rather than what he's doing at the moment. So like if that is an instruction from Poch, why are you asking Maatsen to do it and not Colwell, who's comfortable doing that?
Do you know what was also telling? Mudryk went for a run at the end of the game, right? He got to the byline and he looked back and he was 3-on-1 and he had no support and he had to literally kick the ball backwards and it almost went from the byline to the halfway line. And Mudryk put his hands up like, where is the support? And I was like, surely if you have Maatsen on, he needs to be closer to Mudryk. And the reason you play him is so there's an overlap or an underlap offer. And
I think I remember the one you're talking about.
It's negligence. Like
it's the one where the ball went to Gallagher. The ball went to Gallagher.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. I'll be real, bro. That was a terrible pass. Like that was an awful pass. Like he could have made that pass to Gallagher.
What was he meant to do though? Like he kicked it all the way back.
He had no options.
He had no options. Like the thing is, like I think a lot of these players, they go down alleyways where teams force them down because we have no options on the ball. And that always comes back down to the system and setup of the team. Like, we struggle to progress the ball from defense to offense, if that makes sense, right? We genuinely struggle. Like, man, it's worrying. Very, very,
Like the
very
amount of
worrying.
passes it takes us from the goalkeeper to the striker is disgusting, man.
It's because our midfield is because, especially today, our midfield, like, Leslie's not in a position where he can be the link guy from midfield to attack. So it falls on Gallagher, who can't do that, and we know he can't do that. And this isn't me getting at Gallagher for this. Like, that's a limitation of his. It's down to the manager to not highlight this guy's a limitation in this game. Like, that's on the manager. Look at what Klopp has done for Trent. Yes, there have been times, especially later on, like in Klopp's managerial career at Liverpool, where Trent has been caught out defensively. But particularly at the beginning, like when they got to when won the Champions League and won the league, he managed to find ways, whether that was through Van Dijk or Matip or through Henderson or whatever, where Trent's defensive frailties weren't highlighted because of the system they were playing. He got the best out of Trent by not allowing his weaknesses to affect the team. That's what good managers do. That's what quality managers do. That's why this guy isn't a quality manager.
And you know what makes me laugh as well? Like, Gallagher fully tries. Like, in Gallagher's head, Poch's convinced him he can play out the back. But everything he does, he takes 3 or 4 touches to do because he just doesn't have the minerals or the ability. Like, it's actually really sad that he's convinced. You know, like, I think Gallagher goes home, lays down next to his girl at night and says, you know what? I'm the best midfielder in this league. Like,
Oh my
Poch told me.
God.
He's like, look at my statistics. Like, I am convinced he's sitting pillow talking to his girl like, oh, my manager believes in me.
Yeah, bro, he's on that Jackson energy. Poch knows ball. I listen to him.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. That you know that I cooked him for that, you know, like in a video, yeah. I was like, I respect that Jackson backs himself, but at the same time, you need to cook after you make statements like that. Because all of a sudden, your manager's a liar and you're shit.
I'd just rather he be quiet. Just genuinely, just keep your mouth shut, put your head down, and just start performing on the pitch.
Now, with the Gallagher thing, though, I remember there was one time where I think Petrovic plays him a ball, and his first touch nearly concedes a corner. Like, oh my god,
bro! Can I say the whole team's first touch this game, bro? Bloody hell, man! Bloody hell! I mean, I don't know what was going on today with the man's first touches, bro. Like, it's crazy, man.
I think one of the problems is playing the 4-4-2 today because, like Scott was saying, with the link, the link between the link between the defense and the attack. You know, there was no number 10 there, so you had Jackson dropping deep, and
hey, Jackson as a number 10 is class.
No.
It's hilarious.
He's got no confidence. Rozier can't control the ball.
I was going to say, I need to say, like, because this has been talked about previously, this idea that Brozier and Jackson can play together and it will work needs to die. Like, it needs to die. Those guys have negative. Those guys, they have negative chemistry. They legit have negative chemistry.
I'm not going to mention the YouTuber's name, but he said, and this made me die, right? He said, oh, Brozier and Jackson could be what Nicholas Anelka and Didier Drogba were for us.
I've seen. No, I think I've seen that tweet. Who was it from? Who was it from? I've seen that tweet.
Such a howler of a take! Oh my god!
I've seen that tweet.
No, but it was a video, bro. There was a 3-minute explanation, and I was like, you know what? This is why I don't watch YouTube content on my own team because I get rattled.
Exactly.
This was an effective video.
Same.
This is an effective video. This is a fully effective video because my watch time on this channel is going to be high because I'm getting angry at this.
This Drogba thing, man. We need to stop doing this to our young African strikers. Like Dacho Fofana, we did that with Dacho Fofana in January. He's now out on loan. Like, what are we doing here?
He scored 1 goal on loan. 1 goal.
Man, bro. We are a shit show right now, but let's hope, man, they can get out of the shit.
Does anyone want to talk about his great man manager at Mudryk after coming on Wednesday and saving his ass?
Ah, yes.
and then not starting him today. Don't want to talk about that because that would have been great for his confidence, right? Not starting him after coming on and playing well.
Mudryk was in a nightclub last night. He was in Tate, so he had a bonding session, so he can't play back games. He had bonding sessions.
You know he had. You know he had Gallagher.
I know some of these places these guys are going.
You know he had Gallagher. He had Gallagher on a yellow card and a single pivot for 35 minutes in that second half today.
That is criminal, man.
Not even that. Well, Andrew, I'll go one better. I'll go one better. His midfield partner was Palmer, who was also on a yellow card today as well. So our double pivot was two players on a yellow card.
Silva was moving up into the midfield as well.
In the last few minutes, it was Thiago Silva. I saw Thiago Silva in the midfield.
The 39-year-old.
Yeah. Why is it no one's asked him how he can throw in Ugo Chukwu into a game to start, who hasn't played for like 7 games, but he can't even bring Lavia on for 20 minutes?
Bro, but you know what was hilarious?
I was going to say, who's going to play against Palace in the midfield?
Lavia has to start. Lavia has to
start.
Caicedo going to be better by then.
Oi, Enzo's playing with a double hernia, bruv. Enzo will be out there, I promise you.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
But also, why did Enzo have to travel to the game today?
Wait, did he travel?
He was a late,
Oh my god!
He was in the crowd.
Late fitness test.
Did he have to travel though? Like,
no, that's
what
what I'm saying.
Late fitness test.
Why did? I bet he was asked to travel. Like, team, whatever the word is, bond.
Andrew, he did this with Caicedo though. Remember, he did it with the Caicedo. After
Caicedo was on the bench.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. Oh god.
Yeah. Doesn't do a whole lot of good then, does it? Still.
No, let me just say this. First off, I don't blame Poch whatsoever. I blame the players. Second half, Poch gets more percentage of blame because I have no idea what the game plan is. Still, I think he sent Madueke on and just told him just to do something. He got out tactic and out coached by Gary O'Neill today. Let that sink into you. He got out coached and out tacted by Gary O'Neill. After about 20 minutes, Gary O'Neill used an injury scare to one of his players to actually get them all over the side and just change a few bits here and there. And by the way, what was the tactics? Easy tactics for Wolves: defend because you're crossing into absolutely no one for the last 20 minutes of that game.
And we took off Gusto. Apparently, Gusto created the most chances when he was on the pitch.
Took off Gusto and put Disasi at right back. Then played a weird hybrid back three when Palmer was like a right wing back some of the time, and it was like, I don't know. I'm actually running out of things to say. It's the same thing every week about this guy. And this we need experienced players. Bullshit. Look at Man United. They've all got experienced players there. It's about coaching. He's not coaching. He's not coaching well. Because otherwise, if he's coaching, they're not listening. That means they don't respect him. So he shouldn't be there as well. If they don't respect him, not listening, then he needs to go as well. I don't want Mourinho in. I don't want this new online fan base having to go at Mourinho because I would just lose it. And Mourinho, just leave Mourinho alone to finish his stint at managing Portugal in a few years' time. Just leave him alone. Leave Mourinho alone where he is. You don't need to keep doing this.
I can't lie, man. Mourinho, Roma, I think they're perfect fit anyway. Let's just
Yeah, they're stinky. I saw them yesterday against Napoli, against 9 men.
You know what baffles me, and then we'll go back on track. What baffles me is that we just saw the game we saw, right? And people still come into the comments and say shit like this. Why does no one say these midfielders can't shoot?
Man, they can't.
Hang on. What's Ugo Chukwu strike rate?
Gallagher and Ugo Chukwu, bro.
Yeah, what's his strike rate? Ugo Chukwu, what's his strike rate? You expect Gallagher to shoot?
You saw the misses we had today, and this is what you come into the chat and say, bro?
Bro, but you know...
Unless he's just saying Sterling all that's the midfielder, even though they're forwards.
But you know what's really annoying, though, yeah?
They got baby.
I just feel like we're stuck in a predicament where we can't even get happy with 2 wins. Like we genuinely can't, because I look at the table and I just go, yeah, but we're still 10th. This is why when I see people...
But Alex, I disagree because I think we can. For example, we win today, we're 5 points behind West Ham, who are 6th. We're in touching distance of getting a Europa League spot. And I know people go, oh, but like that's not good enough. But like with how
it is
we
good
started
enough.
the
It is good enough.
yeah,
Please
with how
just
we
give me
started the
Europa.
with how we've started the season, that's incredible. We were within touching
Scott,
distance if we win this game.
Scott, the point is though, we're only one game off losing the next one though. That's the thing. We can't put a
That's
run
it.
together.
We can't, and you know, like what I hate yesterday, and this is my fault again. Brighton dropped points, Villa dropped points, Man United dropped points. I'm like, oh, you know what? We could catch up. Why, bro? Why are you looking? Stop looking. Like,
When have this team ever shown they can do that? When has this manager ever shown that he can do that? There's no evidence.
boys, who are the shortlisted? Like, who do you think is genuinely shortlisted to replace it?
I genuinely
Yeah,
believe that. I
Thomas
believe
Frank's
that
probably on there,
Schlott.
bro. You're right.
Frank is probably on there, but not only. I think their top
Amorim,
guy
maybe.
wouldn't. I think that the guy on the top of that list, or it wouldn't surprise me if it was, is Slot, because they tried to go for him before.
Oh Lord.
I wouldn't.
I actually don't think that's a terrible. I'll be real. I don't think that's a terrible appointment, because I do think, like, I saw someone tweet about this today, and it's like the Mourinho thing. I'm in an R about it, but like I do hear the argument of like if we go back to the kind of like that kind of manager, like the pragmatic kind of manager with the squad we have, it's just such a backwards move. And so you are kind of looking for that manager that's going to be the step forward that you kind of hoped Poch was going to be before he turned out to be a complete fraud. Where it's like you hope that he can be the guy to progress and move forward and build the system. And so you're looking at your Slots, your Deserbies, your etc.
By the way,
Alonso.
Oliver, would you be happy with Ruben?
Would I be Amorim?
Amorim.
In the current state of the squad, no, because I don't think we have our wing backs aren't good enough to play a three at the back system. James and Chilwell too injury prone. Kukurea can't go forward. Gusto's the only one I trust. So we'd need two new left wing backs and one new right wing back unless the James surgery fixes everything.
You don't
think
at this point, no. Do it?
Matson could do it, but the problem with Matson is, are we going to sell Matson before we sack Poch? Because if we do, then that's a null point.
Honestly, for me, especially with this ownership and the directors we have, it's really throw paint at the wall and see what sticks. I can't tell you off the top of my head any manager's going to come in here and fix this. I genuinely can't. I think we're so deep into shit. I feel like we can't sack him either. At this point, either like he's going to get the window, he's going to get time after the window to see if he can get something out of this team, and then we probably won't hear about a sack until March.
But then you don't know. But then you see, there's no point sacking him in March because you're doing what you've done with Potter.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. If he gets to, I'll be real. If he gets to March, if he gets to March, at that point, just give him to the end of the season.
You really have to sack him this week. You have to sack him this week.
I'll be real. As much as I do want him gone, and I want him gone, I want him gone expeditiously. Like there is a small part of me that's just fuck it, give him to the end of the season. Like I don't think we're gonna do anything, but like
they're not gonna sack him. Win the League Cup semi-final. Not gonna sack him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like see if he can win the trophy.
We've all said that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See if he can win. See if he can win the trophy. If not, then just sack him.
Wait, listen. If he ruins our heritage by going into the Conference League and not winning it first time, I swear to God, I will find his address, and we're gonna have serious words. I am going to his house. We have been in the Europa League twice. We have been in the Europa League.
By the way, I figured it out now.
Yeah,
I figured out.
And
something.
we've won it. Go on.
Gallagher. He hasn't made Gallagher good. That's normal Gallagher. He's just made everyone else shit. Yeah. So that's just Gallagher playing normally. That's what it is.
Gallagher's the best midfielder in the league. What are you talking about?
Oh, good lord.
Bro,
Gallagher.
can I say the amount, the amount of stuff I've been hearing about. Look, how can we sell Gallagher? Gallagher this, Gallagher. I'm like, bro, if he's your best midfielder when you're at your worst, you should be raising real questions as to why he's the best midfielder.
Gallagher's he's the best midfielder in a 10th place team. Just
I saw, what's it called? John Omiko was not as good as Gallagher.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I love this fan base, man.
Someone said to me, £55 million, and that's not good enough to get Gallagher. I was like, I'll drive Gallagher myself. I swear to God, I will drive Gallagher myself to wherever he needs to go for £55 million.
Yeah.
Because Carney is better than Gallagher, and Carney should be playing in the 8. Enzo should be in a deeper role, and then you have like Caicedo and Lavia, and all of a sudden we have a competent midfield. Gallagher,
That's what I mean. Like
We've said it on these screens.
And the thing is, you can add one more midfielder. Say you want to add a bit of experience, quote unquote. Like go and get like I can't even think of it anymore. Like an old dude who's going to be happy just chilling and being a squad player and isn't going to play a lot of games. Like, and he can take Gallagher's place. And then you've got the experience, the dressing room leader, the John Terry type.
We were linked with Paulinho, right? And I had someone tell me Paulinho is not better than Gallagher.
Huh?
That's criminal, right?
Huh?
I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know, man. He's like become the new Mount, bro. Like where they're like.
I need their names, please, Alexis.
Honestly.
I need their names, please.
I'll get you their names. I literally will at you. Like I'll at you with a tweet where they said you don't know ball. Look at these metrics. Someone said the fact that you can even compare the two makes me sick. What has Paulinho done in his career?
That's the thing that bothers me. Like I'm not going to
What's
sit here
Gallagher
and
done
say
in
that.
his
I'm not going to sit here.
He's won a league title. What the fuck are we talking about?
I'm not going to sit here and like you say that like Gallagher hasn't improved because he has improved this season. But who's to say that Carney can't do the same exact job, if not better? Who's to say that NKUNKU can't do the same exact job, if not better? The only reason we're saying what we're saying about Gallagher, and by we, I mean the Chelsea fan base, the only reason they're saying what they're saying about Gallagher is because he's been our only option in that position.
Thing is, though, I don't think he can. Marshall, I don't think those guys can do the same job as Gallagher. I think Gallagher's better defensively.
You don't think
but
Carney or NKUNKU can press the way Gallagher does?
No, not as well. But they can press. That's the difference. It's about.
You might be right.
I actually disagree.
I think fair enough. I feel like what they're doing
for me,
is
the one guy you could get to do his job, and this is why I go back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of when everyone's fit. You can get Caicedo to do Gallagher's job.
And very well as well.
Oh, Scott, I was thinking more of a number 10 than pivot.
Oh no, but this is where I say like you can, depending on what you want to do, right? Depending on who we're facing. Say we're facing a low block. I'll tell you what, to be fair, say we're facing a low block. There are, depending on what their midfield is, or depending on who you're playing, like you could have Enzo in the 10 or not Enzo in the 10, or like go 2 8s and a 6 and have like Lavia or Enzo in the 6 if you wanted to. And if you wanted to play a number 10 that could break down, you play Carney and then you play Caicedo slightly further up. Like Caicedo can do that Gallagher job. He can do that Gallagher job. Like that's what he was doing last season for Brighton.
Dude, Brighton had McAllister with Enzo towards the end of this with Caicedo in a double pivot last year. I'm sorry.
Not even that. Not even that. They had, there were times when they had Caicedo and Gross in a pivot.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. We can have Enzo and Caicedo in a double pivot if you set them up accordingly. Like, it's either these two are fucking shit and we ridiculously overpaid for them, or you just set them up correctly and they will look good like they did in their other teams. Like, it's not difficult.
Mm-hmm. And Vic, regardless of whether or not you agree that I think NKUNKU and Carney can do the same job that Gallagher does, this still proves my point. This team doesn't need Gallagher when it's fully fit. We have players that can do the same thing Gallagher does. So that's why if he goes, I'm not that pressed about it. If he stayed, then cool. I mean, we have a player we can use as a utility player. But if we can make a good buck out of him, pure profit, then by all means.
I just want to clarify.
Go for it. I'm not pressed about it.
I just want to clarify on my point with Gallagher, by the way. What I mean by he can't do by NKUNKU and Carney can't do the same job. I think those two do a different job, but that job complements the team better than Gallagher. I'm not saying that Gallagher's better than those two. I just want to clarify that.
No. I understood what you meant, bro. Like I thought you meant that clear. I will say one thing for us though, and which is really worrying with this team as well. We've got a section of the fan base now that is basically any signing we look at, it's, we can sign them, but we need to get rid of pure profit. We need to get rid of our common players. If you look at the top teams above us, how many graduates are playing for those teams?
Oh, we went through this the other day. Like, there
aren't many, right?
Hang on, I think Liverpool
have Trent, maybe Curtis Jones.
Yeah. And the thing is, Jones is a bit pot player. He doesn't even start regularly. Yeah, like when Jones starts, people go, "Oh, Jones is starting." Does that make sense? Like it's never, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Jones is
yeah.
starting."
Arsenal have Bukayo Saka. That's it, I believe.
Yeah, because Nketiah they're basically trying to offload him.
We have, by the way, the most academy players currently playing in the Premier League.
And yet it's still not enough. Like this is what I don't understand. Yet people still have an issue with it. Like someone said, "Oh, wow, they only want to get rid of Gallagher because he's Cobham. They only want to get rid of Maatsen because he's Cobham. They only want to get rid of Broja because no, they're just not good enough."
This has been happening for us since Lampard. Really, Lampard's first season after we got that influx of like a large amount of the Cobham players, right? This has been taking place since then. Because for me, this is not nothing new because we saw it previously with Mount. We've seen it now. Like it's not new. Like Lewis, people forget. Like look at Lewis Hall. The way people are reacting to just Lewis and Lewis Hall, for example, that which was like what 4 or 5 months ago in the summer window.
And this guy's hardly played for Newcastle. Like they don't want to play him because they don't want to. And you know the worst one was Charlie Webster. Do you not remember the uproar when he didn't get a contract?
Oh, don't get me started on Charlie Webster.
The guy is playing for Heerenveen or whatever the name is, yeah.
Yep.
And he can't get in the team.
His last game, he got a red card, and that was in like September.
Like, and these
I remember when they sold Lewis Bate. That whole reaction. Oh my god.
Who is? I don't even know if he's still at Leeds. I think he is.
I think we looked at this, Scott. I think he is.
Like I always say this, yeah. If you actually
he's played 3 games. He's played 3 games for Leeds.
If you
Merry
look
Christmas,
at the
everyone in the
players that
UK, by the way.
Yeah,
Big
Merry
up.
Christmas to everyone. But,
Yeah, big
you know
up,
what it
big
is,
up. Merry Christmas.
But you know, if you look at actually the Chelsea squad, yeah, the actual Chelsea squad, yeah, and like the players that have left us from Cobham, yeah, who can we really say, yeah, that's actually turned out good? I think Liverpool
Jamal.
probably, like
Jamal.
Sorry,
Jamal Musiala.
Yeah, all I can say. But even like I think you can maybe say Tomori maybe. But even
what about the goalkeeper at Nice? I think he's having a good season, but that's it really for now.
Yeah, like him, Gurhi has been all right, I would say. But like, there's no wowzers. You know what I'm saying? There's no actual like a wowzer type player that would be in ours, if that makes sense. Start 11, maybe barring Tomori.
But yeah, I also think what needs to stop happening is disingenuous analysis. So like, you see Solanke scoring these goals, but we got Nico Jackson. The thing is, Solanke had to go for 6 years and develop. Tomori had to Tomori's the one that I feel sorry for because I actually think he was ready to play. Yeah. Bolka went on 5 loans before he started playing for Nice consistently. Do you understand what I mean? Like these players.
Solanke failed at Liverpool, guys. But people forget that. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
Like,
also, the thing with Bolka only got his chance because the dude ahead of him was so bad.
Like, by the way, you know how everyone's like, we need experience and we need to get a new centre back. I know Diamonde is really like touted highly, but he's 19 and he's only played 27 league games in his career. The one that we should be trying to get, and he's £50 million, Fikayo Tomori. Like, if you want like Cobham, you want the whole.
He just got injured, by the way.
No, but the thing is, it's like in the summer,
they will.
Right?
I don't know how long the injury is for. I think it's fairly serious because AC Milan are planning on recalling one of their centre backs that's on loan at the moment and buying another one.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah, it got reported yesterday, I think.
But do you understand? Do you understand what I mean when I say like he's like Champions League experience, won a league title, a leader, a captain, basically without the armband for them. That is the level of player we should be bringing in and like having around our boys.
We sold Tomori for what, 20 million?
No, yeah, it was a buy clause in the loan.
It was 24.5. It was 24.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like it's like one of the players' name I didn't want to sell, like keep him as a future like centre back, but yeah, 24 million.
That's one you can blame on Mr. Lampard, isn't it? So
yeah, he didn't like him, did he? I know. Yeah.
Also, by the way, I'm just going back to the conversation we were having talks about youth players. I'm looking through at these teams, by the way. Liverpool have 8 players, right? Like current academy players in their squad. Only one is a first team starter, a consistent first team starter.
Who else?
So Liverpool.
Yeah.
So Liverpool have Trent, who's a guaranteed first team starter. Curtis Jones, who's not. Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's. Why is Harvey Elliott in this?
He's a
He's
They're only
Fulham.
at 7.
He's a Fulham
Yeah.
kid.
That's. I saw Harvey Elliott and it didn't clock. They've got Bias Essage, who's not a first team starter.
He doesn't even
guaranteed.
play. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
I think
play.
he's injured at the moment, but like even when he's fit, he's not a guaranteed starter. They've got Kelleher, who's backup goalkeeper. They've got Kwanzaa, who only started playing this season. Doak, who's the same, and Bradley, who I've never heard of. I think he's the same.
Like,
Then
you
you've
see
got
players
United.
mentioned.
Then hang on. Then you've got United. You've got Johnny Evans. Technically, yes, but whatever.
Oh man,
No,
Rashford.
God.
You've got Rashford, McTominay, who's terrible. Tom Heaton,
Mayo.
like again, technically yes, he's third choice goalkeeper, I think. Garnacho, who half the fan base is split on.
He's an Atleti
Hannibal.
youth player.
I mean, it's
Garnacho's
on
from
transfer
Atletico
market.
Madrid.
Transfer market only have United, so that might be an iffy one. But you've got Hannibal, not a guaranteed first team starter, and Mainu, who's a great player but not a guaranteed first team starter. So they've got in that team, in terms of when everyone's fit, one guaranteed first team starter, which is either Rashford or Garnacho, because they both don't play together. Let's go down to Arsenal, which is 5. They have Saka, Nketiah, Smith Rowe, Nelson, and Hine. So you've got your third choice goalkeeper, 3 guys that are bench players, and 1 guaranteed first team starter.
And you know, there's levels to bench players. There's bench players that will come on every game, and there's
Also,
bench players
actually-
that you don't see for 4 weeks.
But it's not even
Like
that.
tomatoes.
Of those, let's look at Arsenal. Those three squad players that are bench players. They want they want to replace Nketiah because he's not good enough. Smith Rowe was we were reported to be interested in Smith Rowe in the summer, so it's obvious that he could be someone they move on. And then Reece Nelson, up until this season, looked like he was going to leave. Or sorry, last season looked like he was going to leave.
Bro, they kept him because it's cheaper to keep him than sell him.
Yeah. So they may be down to 2 or 3 within after next summer.
Someone told me, so what, Rico Lewis doesn't count? Of course he doesn't fucking count. Like, Rico Lewis does not start games for Man City if everyone's fit.
No, but the thing is, he does, but he's also a quality player. Because to get through in that City academy, you have to be a quality player. That's why they only have 3 players from their academy in their squad, which are Foden, Lewis, and that Oscar Bob, who some Man City fans I've seen speak about him say that he at the same sort of age, he's a better player than Palmer is at that age. Which is considering how we've seen of Palmer, that's got to be good if he gets to if he is that level. Obviously, I haven't watched much of him, but that's from City fans. So to play in that City team, to come from that academy, you have to be good. So to play in that team, you have to be next level good, which those guys are. We're playing anyone and everyone. Same with United to an extent, and even United aren't playing that many academy players.
You know what's crazy, guys? What I don't understand yet. For the longest time, obviously until Lampard's first season, as I always say, we were the Lone Army. People used to rave about the Lone Army at this club. Lone Army, get this guy on, get this guy on, learn. But it took only 1 season of a transfer ban to change the complete mentality of this. Which is
it took social media to change the mentality of it
because
now
I think they coincide.
People view these kids as a ticket to grow their platform. They brag about them on Twitter because they know these big accounts are visible to all football players. They're more likely to get an interview with their parents or an interview with the young kids. And then once they become first team players, you all of a sudden have an avenue into the football game. I don't think it's coincidental, right, that they're just bum-licking anything that comes out of Cobham, bruv.
I think it's a bit of both because, when Lampard was the manager, that was kind of the rise of football Twitter. And then COVID happened, which obviously social media blew up even more then. I think it's both happened at the same time in a way.
I've always said with Cobham, the thing that people don't understand about Cobham, is, at least this is my point of view, is because people talk about how the amount of talent we've produced. For me, it's always been quantity over quality. We've produced a load of talent that can play football to a decent level. the amount of players that we have produced from Cobham that can play to a league-winning title level is minimal.
But you know what, Scott? I'm going to say to you this way, right? How many clubs produce like 5-6 players of that like insane generations to go on and become that? I think we're one of the best at
Ajax.
No, but you see, Barca and Ajax is complete. Like, for example, Ajax is a completely different environment, right? The league's way less competitive, and
no, I agree it's a different environment, but not for that reason.
Like, and for me, it's like I think Chelsea does a very good job at giving these players careers at Premier League and Championship level.
I agree.
We have like a ton of scattered players all around Europe now, or like in Italy especially, and in mid-table Premier League clubs. The problem for me is it's hard to develop 3-4 Fodens. Like, these are generational players. Like, if it was easy, we'd have that. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think it's realistic as well to expect to win and promote youth. I don't think.
Do you know what it is?
I kind of agree, but like not fully. If that, like, I think you can produce more than one, but I think that the problem is there's two things, and number one is I think that what English clubs don't do, apart from I think with Pep, because I know he did this at Barca and Bayern, is, and this is what they do at Ajax, or they do at Barca, or they were doing, I don't know how much they're doing it now, is from the top down. I'm talking from the top of the club, from the first team to the very bottom youth team. They play the same brand of football. Like, there's a link between the entire, like, it's like one kind of
it's a philosophy.
Network. Yeah, it's one neural network, like, with all the teams. Like, I think, so before he went to manage, like, Ajax and Utrecht and whatnot, Ten Hag was, like, the under-21s manager of Bayern. Like, or the B team.
I think he was on Pep's staff, yeah.
He was. So he went to go and manage their B team in, like, the third or fourth tier of German football. Yeah, like, and that's where I think English teams get it wrong. And I think it's not even just that. It's like, as you said, I think you can, like, to a level, you can develop like I'd say around 3 players of that level if you get that level of player come through. But I do agree it's no more than 3, and I think that's what people need to understand. Of when you get those 3, maybe 4 if you want to push it, level players, those are the players you need to focus on. But your Gallaghers, even though I like some of these players I'm about to mention, but your Gallaghers, your Matsons, Broziers, your Chalobahs, your who else am I trying to think of? Your Mounts, like those level players, those guys are eventually going to be sold.
And they should be sold. There should be no hard feelings when you sell them, because the reality is people love those pictures. You know, when we won the Champions League and there's like 7 academy players that played no role. They basically picked up a medal. Like 5 of them played no role. They're just there for vibes and just to get a medal for fun.
I remember they had Angerin in those pictures. My God.
Yeah, Angerin, yes. Like, Jamal Blackman has a Champions League and a Europa League winning medal. Never played a minute for Chelsea.
Gallagher has a Europa League medal, doesn't he?
Yeah, like...
You know what it is? Do you know what it is, yeah? Like, we need to be honest, brother. A lot of these academies and everything like that, yeah, it takes usually, it's very rare that you get like a class of 92 or what's happening at Barca, where they were just getting all of these crazy talents in one go. It's very rare. It's a rare case. Usually an academy, their best player is like 1 or 2 you can probably name off your hand, and then after that you got a lot of like mid players that come out that go to other places and continue their career onwards. But like, I don't know, man, not every player that comes out of the academy is generational, lads. Not everyone that comes out is generational.
Like, for example, would you know this new kid that we've got, Leo something?
Leo Castledine.
What the heck? Is he good?
I've no idea.
I haven't seen him play, bro. I'll be honest. I've
never heard of him.
I'll tell you what, though. He, not necessarily talking about him, like, slight tangent. Poch must rate that Matos kid, by the way. Because, he's still including him in on the bench. Like, he must rate him.
He's never. Did
he? Yeah.
No, he's played like.
He had much of an option.
he has played a couple of games. Like he's only had about 10 minutes in total. Like
Yeah.
it's like 5 minutes into one game.
I'll be so real. I don't know what he looks like.
Alexis, me
black-
and
he's
black- he's black.
Black player of the players, black player of the race.
Listen, you've got. I don't remember.
Oh
what
my
he
god, I said something crazy.
I don't remember him. I literally don't remember. That's not a joke.
That's
not,
like-
that's not a joke. I just don't remember.
Yo, that's half our players, man. I need to be more specific.
I wasn't making. I'm not making a joke. I just don't remember.
What do you mean?
No, I'm making a joke, bro. Because like I was like, that's like half our players, isn't it? But hey,
Wait, can I ask you a question though? What position does Matos play?
Centre mid.
Center mid.
Okay, so why on earth why was he not in consideration today? And we have to endure. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, and this is why I keep saying, if we're willing to spend money and bring in these players in, why is Poch not willing to play an actual midfielder to give us balance? Like, surely he must be like, if Miley can play for Newcastle, surely we can have a 20-year-old play for us potentially, right? Miley can't be this generational talent.
We were talking a little bit about this earlier. I think Marshall brought up earlier. He was like, could he maybe not understand Poch's tactics? Well, first of all, what tactics? And second of all, you'd hope he understands something by being in the matchday squad as many times as he has been.
Yeah, and that's the
I just
point.
think
Alex.
there's
Like,
also
you made the point.
no match sharpness there, but you're
No,
going.
but like I made this point here. NKUNKU, bro. Like even though he looked alright, that brother just came back. He's just come back to match
Injured again.
Yeah, and he's barely got any match sharpness, and like we just threw him to the wolves. If NKUNKU wasn't fit, that was probably going to be Lavia, by the way. You know that, right? That was probably going to be Lavia, by the way. And then he could have been
got some minutes though. Then
and then he could have been, and then he could have been out again. He could have been out again for another 6 months and not play the season. So,
By the
Bro,
way,
but you
by the
know
way,
it's
lads,
worrying.
like when we finish this conversation, I want to go back to the academy because I looked up something just for shits and giggles. Like,
but yeah,
finish
bro,
with no one.
yeah, but like United can play Kobe Minu, yeah, and no one has a conversation on that. I'm just like,
He's
I
actually
don't
doing
think
pretty well for Man.
if you say Alex Matos is not that,
Bless you.
can play that what's it called position. Bring another guy from the academy that you can trust just for 60 minutes, I would say. And then you can at least bring on Ugochukwu for the remaining 30 minutes.
Bro, Cobham doesn't have a right back that I need to see Disasi's fat ass run up and
exactly.
Guys, we literally did this with Billy Gilmore. That's how he got into the team when he did. That's how he got in. We needed an option in the midfield.
That's how Lewis. Actually, no, that's how Lewis Hall got into the team. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I think for me, this all comes down to then, if this is the case, then this brother shook. He must be shook then. He has to be shook.
He's a coward.
He's shook, fam. He's shook, man.
Here's the thing, Ahmed. I don't want Poch to just throw in a random academy kid just to get this fan base loving him, and all of a sudden we have another mid academy player on our hands. Let's just be real. I don't want another guy.
I don't think it's just throw out a thing. But you can't convince me that a 19-year-old in the academy right back is not better than Disasi at right back. Disasi can't run up and down a pitch. He's too big. Like, he literally is not a right back. So surely, like, remember when Lamptey came on? What's it called, under Frank Lampard?
It was against Arsenal, I think. Yeah.
Against Arsenal. He was competent enough to play at right back, at 5'4", whatever he is, surely we can have some kid that, like, they always put these pictures up of someone in the under 21. You have got a serious problem if you can't play one under 21 kid at a right back position.
The difference is all upstairs. It's all in the head, because with that Lampard season, everyone was like, "Oh, we'll be happy to finish 6th." Whereas the narrative with Poch is, "Oh, your club has spent $1 billion," even though that's not entirely accurate, but that's the narrative. It's all mental. I think it's about
that money's caused so much problems. Like, they literally have come in, and I don't think they've realized the problems they were causing with inflating values, and more importantly, the pressure that these values are like putting on. I really miss Marina. Like, I actually really blamed her back then.
I know at times.
Like, genuinely, I really miss the days.
I get where you're coming from.
I really miss the days of waiting 4 weeks for us to put a bid in for Alexandro, like under Conte. 4 weeks where we were just chasing players instead of now where it's Fabrizio on a daily 15-minute upload.
Bro, we
of, yep.
literally we leak. We are like we're so leaky, bro. Like I can tell you when something's about to happen. This is gonna happen, and then watch tomorrow or tomorrow after it will be like almost completed. Friday you're gonna see the new video out of him. You can literally plan the path of when it's gonna end.
Bro, we're gonna have. I'm telling you now, we're gonna Unboxing Day. Tomorrow, Fabmon's probably gonna have it off. On Boxing Day, there's gonna be a shit ton of what's it
we
called?
get a Christmas special, and I mean, little Christmas present.
There is gonna be a bunch of players linked with us. Like keep an eye out on the volume of players we're gonna get linked with us now.
How much can this team this club even spend more? Because like I said, we have literally gone all out like on this whole new squad. Like, can we even spend much more? Like,
well, this is Chris. This is the logic of selling your Gallaghers.
Yep.
Yeah. If you sell Gallagher and all that, like yes, you make
Gallagher.
I'll be honest, man.
Madsen.
West Ham. I think West Ham.
If Sam Madsen.
No, West Ham going for Broha, man. But we'll see.
Yeah. If we sell players,
That's it. Yeah.
It obviously makes sense.
There was a whole lot of
Pardon?
I'll say 30 to 35 million. You can probably
I was
get
gonna
that.
say 25.
I said 25.
Not 30.
I think if you smart, you get 30 million for him. You can get 30 million for him.
Because for me, Madsen was going for 35. Burnley put 35, didn't they? 30, 35.
In the summer.
Bro, but at that point, you only had 1 year left.
Apparently so, yeah.
They didn't expect the 2 year deal.
I'll take that.
So for me, it's like if Madsen's 30, 35, I think we can get 35, 40 for Brooklyn.
I think there's a difference though, because Madsen's like he's on a high in terms of what he's doing in his career. Brozier's literally like a bench player now, and he's come off an ACL injury. I think there's a difference.
Very true. But at the same time, I didn't think we were going to get 55, 60 for Mount and 65, 70 for Kai.
We're good at selling.
United tax. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know about Hamilton, but yeah.
It's for a good profit.
We're actually Lewis Hall's to go return. I didn't even know like he's actually going to return either.
No, he's not returning, bro.
You sure?
It depends. It depends.
It's the minutes he
Lewis
plays.
Hall's
I
only
didn't
going to
know.
return to leave, man. He's going to return to leave. We need that
He'll
pure
be-
profit.
Like I don't know.
I don't think the terms of that deal are public yet about the obligation.
Still very
Yeah,
unclear. Apparently, it's performance.
They're going to bring him back for Twitter engagements, put him in a few training pictures, have the social media impressions go through the roof only to sell him.
Do you remember the fan base just freaked the fuck out when he just left us? Oh, we can't believe we sold this guy, and now we can barely play.
Bro, I cannot. Bro, can I just say, if Gallagher gets sold, which I believe he will, the amount of burn uproar that's about to happen, it's going to be.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be hell.
He sold our
By
best
the
player.
meltdown, man.
Mauricio Pochettino. We feel very disappointed because I think we deserve much more. This competition wounds you when you are not clinical enough. We created chances. That is why it's so disappointing. We conceded after a few corners, and it was really difficult.
That's nothing new.
Nice. But by the way, guys, can I just take you through? So
Yeah, I was going to ask what were you bringing up?
Yeah, the youth. Yeah, go ahead.
for
The academy.
shits and giggles, I just decided to look at, because we were talking about Reece James and about like getting one or two of those guys through. I decided for shits and giggles to go and look at the class of that Reece James was in the season before he went on loan to Wigan.
Mhm.
So in this class, there are 50 players, or there were 50 players. There is currently one that's retired. There's currently 6 that are still playing and have no club of those 50 players. 6 of the players are still at Chelsea, but 2 of them are out on loan elsewhere.
Who are they? Can you give the name?
So the 6 players still at Chelsea in some capacity or another are Jamie Cumming, who's like 4th choice goalkeeper,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even he's 5th choice goalkeeper, I think. Reece James, Conor Gallagher, Brozier, where is it? Dion Rankin, who's currently on loan, and Tino Andrin, who's currently on loan.
Andrew, I forgot about him. Wow.
And then of the remaining, so what's that? That's 13. Of the remaining 37 players, 10 of them are currently playing in a top 5 league to varying levels. There's like a couple of players that are in the youth academies of like Brentford and Newcastle, respectively. There's a couple of guys like they've got Bulka in France. There's a couple of Crystal Palace players. He's in this, for example. Apart from that, it's a whole lot of mid.
But I think that's normal, Scott. I think genuinely, I think that's
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's
production, though.
it's a whole lot of mid, bro. Like like the only standouts in this class, right? Like genuinely, in terms of from where they're currently at right now in their careers, are Musiala was in this class before he left. Reece James, obviously. Maybe I don't even know. I don't know if it's too early to include him
Was
or not.
Tomori not in that class?
Tomori wasn't in this class, no.
I think it was.
He might have been in.
I think he was in a class above.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
might have been in the one above.
Yeah,
Because he was with Solanke and them lot.
I was gonna say, like, there's a couple guys here. Like, I'd say those are the only two world class. And then if you want to go the level below, you've got like Livramento, Gehi, Bulka. I'd personally throw Gilmore in there. That's like 6 guys.
But the thing
I'll tell you what the problem is. Like, Alex is right. You know, this isn't a realistic expectation for 37 world-class players. The problem is, so many people, like whether they consciously do it or whether they unconsciously do it, they conflate Salah and De Bruyne with the academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
They
what
do
they
the
do,
same.
and those two are the best players in the league. So
They do the same with Courtois as well.
People
I'm
forget
looking
that
at the
during that. People forget during that time period when Salah and De Bruyne left, we sold so many academy or young players as well. No one mentions Patrick Van Aanholt and like Ryan Bertrand and the likes, Ola Ada, all these players that
Jeffrey
left.
Bruma, Ben
No one
Sahar.
mentions that. Why can't we bring them? Chelsea have needed a left back for years. Why didn't we bring back Ryan Bertrand? He started in our Champions League final. No one mentions him, but you want to mention Salah, you want to mention De Bruyne. Like, it's I don't know, man. The obsession.
I'm also, by the way, I'm looking at the year after, like 18-19 season. This is after Gehi. I think this is when they went out on loan. James went out on loan. There's not a single dude the only dude that's had a career to a world-class level that you would say would start for a title-winning team is Musiala. Like, he was still there at this point, I think, because he was 16. Outside of that, all the guys that came up to the under 18 squad from this season, there's not a single dude who I'm looking at. I'm like, cool, you're now at a point where you're a world-class level, or even the level below that. The closest dude I've got, I don't even know if this guy starts for Juve. He's played 7 games for Juve.
Who?
Cool.
Who?
Illing Jr.
Yeah.
Illing Jr. He is like he doesn't play a lot. He's like a squad player for me.
Yeah, but he left for I know this on good authority. He didn't leave because of ability. He left because he was getting pushed to be a right wing back or a left wing back.
Yeah,
and he didn't like.
But he plays as a wing back for Juve.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how it works, isn't it?
You know what?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the only other one that
like,
I've heard, that was really
that's like
good,
none of them. Like, no one that's come through apart from him, like you would say, is getting to that level that
But
came
you know
up,
what,
and it's
though?
like
I
that's-
think Scott,
There's another guy,
that's
by the way.
normal though. I
but
genuinely think
I agree with you. I'm just trying to highlight the point of like, let's go to season let's go season after as well. See if anyone else came through.
You know, there's another.
Because
player.
I'm enjoying this now. Again, not only one you've
player that
got
left-
arguably.
yeah. There was a player that left this year. It was 14 or 15-year-old that went to USG. That people were saying, was the next world-class guy. I haven't heard about him again since.
Ahmed. But the thing is, do you remember when we had Tuchel, right?
Mhm.
When we had Tuchel and Tino Andringa was getting sold to Spartak Moskva.
Yep.
Yeah. The meltdown was ridiculous. The meltdown was I think we need to stop. Like genuinely, I think this is something that's a big problem because new players that come in get abused because they're viewed as they're blocking pathways. Like, as much as I don't rate Jackson's better than Broja. Like, Jackson's shown me enough this season to tell me that he's a better player than Broja.
Yeah, he's a much more well-rounded player. Like I said earlier, Broja, I like Broja. He's just hella one-dimensional, which works if you've got the manager that suits a one-dimensional, or a system that suits a one-dimensional type of striker.
It's logical to sell Broja and bring in a number 9.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, cool. If you can't, like, for me, you need to get rid of Cucurella and keep Maatsen. But if you can't, you get rid of Maatsen and then get rid of Cucurella in the summer when you bring in a starter.
Hey, I'm getting rid of
Like-
Chilwell first before I get rid
Yeah, I
of
was gonna
Cooper.
say I get rid of Chilwell first.
Yeah, but I don't think you're getting rid of Chilwell because
Yeah.
Poch fancies him. Like,
Hey, he
Poch
fancies
genuine.
Gallagher as well, but he can
Yeah.
hold
Yeah.
that. Disrespect.
I'll be honest, bro. Yeah, bro. That Gallagher fetish has to end, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean. At some point, bro, all things have to come to an end, bro. And
I think it will.
the question is,
okay,
yeah.
maybe I
The
should
question
say
is, yeah.
confidently.
The question is, yeah. He
Marsh, you made him a captain. It's not ending, man.
Well, the thing is, like, I hope it does, simply because. Listen, as much as I don't rate Poch, and I question so many of the decisions that have been made so far, I can't imagine that he would be so dumb as to force Gallagher into that lineup when he has a fit team. I mean, when you have Lavia that's fit, when you have NKUNKU that's fit, when you have Caicedo that's fit, when you have Enzo that's fit, when you have a Palmer that's fit, who knows if we get another striker that's fit. When all these
just
players
wait,
are
he's
fit,
doing it. He's doing it.
He's doing
I
it,
promise
man.
you.
I don't think you understand. He's moving like a football. He's doing football terrorism, bro. He's committing football.
if he does, I'm giving him a lot more credit than I should. And
I
don't
think
give him
the
credit
ownership
as
will
it is.
sack him if that's the case, because then that means one of Enzo or Caicedo or NKUNKU have to come out.
Man, it is such a mess. Like it is but the thing is, I really don't like. I don't like playing Captain Hindsight. Yeah, what the fuck did you hire him? Why did you hire him? Like
The thing is, though,
surely at a football interview, you sit him down and you're like, all right, Enzo's our best player. What do you think we're gonna do with Enzo?
let me ask you this, Alexis. Though, would you have been any happier with any other choices when you had that choice at the time?
Nagelsmann, I can't lie to you, suits this squad more.
But he rejected the job.
Yeah, but then like, why? You need to like Marshall. If you're chasing girls that are out of your league, eventually, you need to sit down and say, why are they not? Why can't I get the girls that I want?
I think a more appropriate one in this case would be Ange.
Do you know?
Look at Ange.
Do you know what? Yeah, we've spoken about this on the channel before. Yeah, but I do think on some level, these guys they actually need to do like some level of an interview, bro. I'll be real. It doesn't need to be with like the BBC Sports, Sky Sports, whatever you want to call it.
You talking about the owner, right, Ahmed?
Yes,
Not the owners. I think the sporting director.
Bro, the thing for me, Alex, I don't think when it comes to the sporting.
Your mic.
Your microphone, Ahmed.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know I don't know if I can say they necessarily have a lot of blood on their hands as sporting directors compared to the ownership, because like if it's true that the ownership are the ones that are driving the young players to be brought in, that's their school of thought, that's what they want to happen, and the sporting directors are literally trying to bringing out what they want for their directive essentially onto the team.
But Ahmed, I genuinely think, like, as much as I see where you're coming from, I genuinely think with the way and how toxic our fan base has been towards these owners, even if they did that, it would just be more fuel to the fire.
But the problem is, bro, I always say, bro, it's better to have clarity, even if it's gonna be toxic, bro. Because if it's toxic now, there's not much more toxic you can get.
We can say that.
They just got to affirm it, really.
Bro, you just gotta hold it. So sometimes, bro, listen. Sometimes you just gotta take that wound, bro. And you get the tank to hit.
I should mention that you also wanted to iterate that this should be through Chelsea's mediators, not through a third party.
I don't really even care.
Somewhere else.
It doesn't need to be at BBC.
Because they have come out and spoken.
Yeah, I just think something where there's an actual video where you are actually hearing their point of view and it's put out onto the table so that there's literally nothing to hide.
But the thing is, Ahmed, these people are experts with their words. They're all intelligent.
I hear you.
So they're wordsmiths. They're just going to make everything. What are they going to say? We want to be competitive. We've invested X amount of money.
It's crowd surfers.
Yeah, but my problem is you're investing in the wrong areas and you're not getting the best in class. Like you're getting a lot of I'm sorry, but building a team for Brighton and building a team for Chelsea is different requirements. So it would most probably it would require a different level of quality of individual. Like we had
you
the
know what it is though, like Alex, Alexis, sorry, I should say.
No, bro, Alex is calm, bro.
Fair enough. But you look at Newcastle. Newcastle have the same another bright.
They have a Brighton guy in there.
Yeah, and like
Mhm.
for me, it's not. I always say that even it's the same with the players. It's not always necessarily about the experience. It's more so the person's quality. If they have more than enough quality, the experience is not as necessary as many believe.
Ahmed, but can I tell you something?
Go
Do
ahead,
you think Chelsea fans would be accepting Newcastle's current predicament? Be honest. Newcastle finished 4th last year. Okay,
I'll be
4th.
honest, bro. They were accepting it for a very long time. When we had pretty much after Conte, we were accepting it.
And then, but then this year, for example, this year, Newcastle was 7th, 7th and 8th. And I think Oliver said it, we're 5 points behind them. We're 5 points behind them. So the reality is, we'd be shouting for Poch out under this type of thing.
Ahmed, did you say Chelsea fans were accepting it under Conte?
No, I said
After
fourth place. I was talking about
Post Conte.
Well, when did we accept 4th place though?
We did. There was a
Lampard
period
and
when we
Tuchel.
were, Lampard and Tuchel. We were very happy.
Yeah,
Or at least I was very
they
happy.
accepted it. No, they accepted it with Frank because like he's a legend or whatever. But with Tuchel, like there were Chelsea fans that weren't happy.
Yeah, well, they were deluded if you weren't happy with Tuchel.
No, but what I mean by that, Prime, I feel like the majority though. It was the majority though. The majority were happy with it.
I didn't say I agree, but the season after we won the Champions League and we finished 3rd, like there were points in that season, especially in the second half, where Chelsea fans weren't happy.
I feel like there was some, maybe you could say that, but I feel like the vast majority though were happy with it. But like, I don't know, man.
Pick up
I
Alexis.
think the point is that there weren't many fans asking for Tuchel to get sacked because we didn't win a title. That's the point.
But the other thing too.
Listen, I don't. Maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe you guys like weren't involved in like the football content scene back, or you guys maybe you don't remember. But like there were people who were on Tuchel's neck. They were complaining about things like
No, there were Prime, but I think those things are more like, we play slow style of play and wing backs and all that. It wasn't about the league position, I don't think.
No, but people thought we were better than we actually were.
So 2 things that I wanted to address. Off of what Alexis said, right? And Prime is saying, I think last season people were willing to be patient, knowing that what we were going into was a change, was a project. We had just came out of sanctions. We knew things were going to take time. So I think most of the Chelsea fan base was going to be understanding that results might drop off. I think where it lost its head was the fact that it dropped off a lot, so much to the point we nearly got relegated. Or like, okay, we were at a point.
It took 6 months for the stadium to turn on Potter.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
It was bad, but people were patient. Now it doesn't seem like we're improving. It seems like we're staying in the same place. And now I understand why more than ever why the fan base is upset. I get it. I'm upset with them, but I'm also not going to sit here. I'm not the type of person that likes to drone and moan and complain about the same thing over and over. I'll drive myself crazy. I'd rather be happy. I understand the situation we're in with our owners. We're stuck with them. So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna like depress myself by, going on about them constantly. I will literally drive myself crazy. Like, people, if you're doing that, go outside, touch grass, like, do things for your mental health. The other thing that I wanted to address was that, yes, I understand that the approach that we're having with this youth model and all that stuff isn't necessarily like, I guess he doesn't agree with the way of investing, but at the end of the day, and I did say this, when it comes to Clear Lake, Egbali, Boli, these guys understand to a certain extent from a business aspect, big up Ahmed, to a business aspect, that this is an investment. Investments do take time to yield returns sometimes. It's not the stock market all the time. Sometimes these things take time to yield a return. So they're going to be willing to be patient because they believe they hired the right people. They believe that these people did the right research. These people have somewhat of a track record when it comes to getting talents that other teams want. So at the end of the day, and then they're going to put money into the stadium as well. That's going to attract people. I think the only thing that's missing from their grasp to complete this investment is getting back into Champions League, getting back into Europe. Once that's done, I think when they're done with the club is going to be worth more than when they stepped into it with Roman. And I think that's what they see, which is why they're willing to be patient with Poch, which is why they're willing to be patient with Potter, which is why they're buying these young players and willing to be patient with these young players as well, and why they're selling these players for pure profit.
I just think there's I just think there's a pretty major how do I put this? There's a pretty major naivety from them about football in general, and this isn't me generalizing Americans, by the way. This is just me isolating this one case. When Potter got sacked, the reports came out after that they didn't expect the fans to turn on Potter after only 7 months or however long it was. And there's also a thing about, I know we haven't spent $1 billion, but we have still spent a lot of money in theory.
Yeah. I understand that.
It's about managing those expectations, and there has to be an understanding that, you know, there needs to be an immediate return.
Yeah, I get that. Completely, I get it. I think one thing that we kind of need to understand, which I know you guys aren't going to agree with, and for me, it's a tough pill to swallow, is that we also need to understand that the way we're looking at this is from a fan's perspective. The way we're looking at this is from what we believe would be a good business model. All these things that we don't have experience in. So, you know, we see the results, we see the players, we see the links, and the players are being touted to buy and all this and that, and we're disappointed. Sometimes we're happy. We see the results. You know, we're reacting based on what we see in the present. But one thing that we don't have experience on, and one thing that I would be shocked if anyone here could even talk about, is how to run a $5 billion industry. How to run a sports club to make it profitable in the long run, which these guys, they're billionaires. They have a lot of money. One thing they know how to do is make money. And one thing I doubt they're going to do is really run an investment down to the ground. I don't see it being the case that they're literally going to ruin this club to the point that it's going to get relegated. It's not in their best interest. There's no way they're going to let that happen. There's too much money on the line. So there's a lot at stake. And although we're seeing it, how it's happening right now, they're seeing the big picture. And that's not something that I can really wrap my head around. I don't think that's something that Prime could, that you could. No offense to anyone. I don't think any of us that are just, you know, our regular day-to-day 9-to-5 people can wrap our heads around how to run a $1 billion business and make it successful. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I know I'm not happy with the results, but at the end of the day, I'm stuck with the managers I have. It sucks, but we'll see what happens in the long run. Maybe it turns around. Maybe these investments turn around. Maybe we actually hire a competent manager. There's so many other factors, which is why, like, I'm not going to sit here and be on and on and on and drone about the owners. At the end of the day, they signed on for 10 years. It is what it is. The one thing I know, though, for a fact is that they don't want to lose money.
That's just common sense, though. That's just common sense.
I feel like it's common sense, but a lot of people, like, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only people that believe that are the Mineral FCs that think that the failings of the club are somehow, they have malice behind them. It's malicious, it's on purpose. It just doesn't.
They didn't make money and get to the point where they were able to buy Chelsea by failing.
To be honest, right now, that's the only. That's my only glimmer of hope right now, because I'm not seeing enough from these owners. I think we can all agree.
I get it. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, my only glimmer of hope is they, you know, that this has to work from a. If they really did buy this club for the dollar note or whatever, then, you know, they have to make it work. I think.
Sorry, you finish, Oliver, before you go.
No, it's fine.
My thing is, right, I think they may have gotten like some stuff or maybe a lot of stuff wrong, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
they are actually trying. They're not like the Glazers or Cronky or FSG or whatever, where they're not putting money in. These guys
It
have
doesn't
spent,
seem that way. Yeah.
yeah, people can laugh, rivals can laugh and say you've wasted $1 billion. But these guys have spent $1 billion in a year, or quote unquote $1 billion in a year. So they're obviously trying, and they're trying to find a model that will deem successful. I think, I mean, it's annoying how long would that take them, but like,
Yeah, I get it.
eventually they will get it right. I think, and
Have to.
they have tried going along the right path. So I think yeah.
I was just gonna say, Prime. To be fair, too, you saw how Bowley and Iqbali approached it the first season. Even though it's not gone the way we all want it to go, we can all sit here and at least agree that they've at least improved their approach this season. It's still not the right approach, and we still made mistakes, but it's better than how we approached last season.
Exactly. And the thing is, right, and that's why when people want to like talk about if Marina and Czech, if they had been willing to stay instead of just leave, I think we would be in a better position. They wouldn't, the Bowley and etc., they wouldn't have gone gung-ho. If Tuchel had been willing to like work with them at the beginning, we would be in a much better position right now. So everyone can blame like Bowley and Iqbali, etc., but the people who were here before him, who we all love, no one gives like points to book at them. If Roman had been running the club the last like 5-7 years in the right way, we wouldn't be in this mess. So
in terms of where we are in the table, Mickey, yes, we haven't improved. But in terms of how we approach transfers, are you just going to sit here and say we haven't improved?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, let's look at the facts as they are, the facts. And, you know, take your emotions aside about how you feel about the ownership. You got to look at what they've done wrong and what they've done right. You know, you can't just look at it just from the one-sided lens, like the mineral view, you know, like they've done things that they fucked up the club. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they haven't fucked up the club. Yeah, they fucked up the club. Look at what my fucking club is now. Like, this is embarrassing. It's a joke. I'm miserable coming on here every time to talk about a loss. Like, I barely want to talk about Chelsea. I'm mostly here listening to you guys talk about it because I'm like, I'm so drained. Like, you hear me in the Discords, how like emotionally invested I am in these games. And when we don't fucking score, it's so draining to me, these losses. I don't want to be here. But at the same time, I try to be a reasonable guy. I try to be understanding. I try to look at both views. I try to just, you know, put myself in their shoes and put myself in the fans' shoes. And I can understand that, yes, in the first season, they made mistakes. Second season, you know what? They hired people so they can do business better. And to a certain extent, we did do business better. We sold Kai Havertz for nearly the same amount that we bought him for. We made profit off of Mason Mount. Look what he's doing at Man United. So there are some things that this ownership have done right and have improved on that you can't deny. Like, let's just not look at it from a one-sided lens.
I think the problem is, though, like when you're a club like us that wants to be at the top, we're not thinking about profits of selling players. This isn't a criticism of you. This is just the viewpoint. We're not thinking about who we're selling. We're thinking about how do we improve this team? Who are we buying? But that's always going to be the forefront. Who are we buying? Who are we bringing in? And you could argue some of that's been underwhelming. Most of it has actually. Well, considering that we're buying like these kids from Brazil, that have no proven track record, you know, that's understandable.
So this is what I mean. Like, okay, Mo Beta, you're saying all about the money, and then we have JP on this two chats away. We didn't make any profit. They did.
Marshall, you posted this on Twitter. If they were in it for the money, they would have joined the Super League.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. You guys want to overlook that. Like, this is what I mean. Like, listen, I hate this. I get put in this position sometimes where like there's so many bad faith arguments being put out there for players, for managers, for whatever. And it's just my instinct as someone that likes to see things from both points of views and just be honest to defend and correct the notion. Like, if you guys came here and said all these positive things about Bowley and all that stuff, I'd probably be here fighting you back on what they did wrong. So it's just like, it goes both ways for me. So like if you guys overwhelmingly start saying all these positive things about Bowley and stuff, I'm gonna come at you with the things they've done wrong, because I don't want to be diluted. It's not black or white. It's a lot of gray here. They've done good, they've done bad. They've done mostly bad, but they've done some good too, and they've improved from last season. So again, like going back to this comment, and Westboy, welcome to Casually FC. You're a new subscriber. They spent $1 billion buying players we don't need. What players? We don't need Enzo. We don't need Caicedo. We didn't need Lavia. We didn't need well, Mudryk, you could argue, obviously, but we don't need Jackson. We don't need Badiashile. We don't need Dasi or Sanchez.
I think he's I think they're talking about like the Dacho Fofanas and the Cassidays that aren't going to be in the first team. I think,
and you know what? You could be right. But again,
that's the
like
part I see from that. Yeah.
This also, like, this is the argument too with the $1 billion spent. This $1 billion spent. You guys want to tell me how much Arsenal has spent in rebuilding their team? Because their team 4 years ago, when Arteta came in, is not the same exact team that they have now. You want to tell me how much that costs and how they're still missing holes as well? I did the math for you guys already, so don't worry. It cost almost $1 billion. They're pushing to 800 million in costs to build their team. They still need, you could argue, a better center back pairing for Saliba, because I don't think Gabriel's the guy. They still need, Zinchenko's not the guy either. They still need another CDM because Partey's leaving, apparently. They still need a striker. What else do they need in that team?
Backup right winger, I think.
Backup right winger?
Because Reece Nelson's not cutting it for me. Not to come in for Saka, no way.
And yes, they're better. They're looking.
And
better
I'll give you a number
table.
9. I think you might have said that.
Yeah, arguably number 9. Yeah, they're looking better in the table. Fine, I give you that. But over the course of 4 years, they've also nearly spent $1 billion as well. We just did it faster because we're trying to get results faster because this is Chelsea. So it's like what Jed says. We need consistency with a manager too, and with Poch, it's just been a flop. It's been like none of us would have predicted this. I think all of us in the beginning of the season thought Poch was the guy. Most of us at least thought. I had my doubts, but I let myself be convinced. Now I'm proven right in that sense. It's just
the things people argue are funny because just stick with him because we need consistency. He's not even consistent. He's not consistent with his lineups. He's not. He changed the centre backs again today. He changed them again. He dropped Badiashile for no reason.
JP, I agree. That's what I mean. I agree. Some people are more towards the other, some people are more to the left, but I agree. At the end of the day, like, as long as you don't look at it just one way or the other,
just be willing to listen. That's all it is. Just be willing to listen to the other point.
It's not even so much that. Like, it's just be aware that there's like a much bigger picture than just the owners ruin the club, all this and that, yada yada. And it's a lot more than also because I'm sure there's avid defenders of Bowley and Iqbali out there too. It's like, oh no, they're doing all this. They put $1 billion into the club. They're improving the club. They're definitely the project. Oh, trust the process. All this. Like, shut up, dude. They're making errors as well. They're making plenty of mistakes. So it's just like, it's just a matter of like, there's got to be a balance to the criticism. And with the investing, going back to the original topic before I went off of this rant, I'm sorry. Back to the original topic. I understand what Gabriel said earlier, where like there have been owners that have taken over the clubs and have failed. Yes, that could happen. Because of how much is at stake, because of how many people are involved in this pool, and because there have been 2 teams that Bowley has been a part of that have succeeded, I'm hoping that at some point within this 10 years, it gets turned around and we're back to Roman era, like beginning of the Roman era, like level of Chelsea. I hope, because I don't want to keep seeing my team lose. I don't want to keep talking about how horrible everything has been going. The recruitment, the owners, Bowley, Poch, the players. I really don't. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping they turn it around because it's in their best interest from the financial aspect. And because this is Chelsea, there is a standard to live up to. And they say they're aware of it. Let's hope they are. And look, maybe it's a case of the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Maybe it's that case, right? They seem to be doing all these things correctly, making a structure, getting these, highly touted youths and, exciting youth players. And maybe it's all this shit. Maybe at the end of the day, we do end up getting relegated. We go to shit. It was all the wrong move. We shouldn't have broken away from the sacking and hiring of managers and hiring these elite players. Maybe it's that way. But the way I see it, what I originally wanted under Roman was a project. I wanted more stability in the Premier League. I wanted more stability when it comes to winning trophies. So maybe right now we moved too fast. Maybe right now we made some of the wrong decisions when it comes to hiring the people. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that when we get it right, if we get it right, we're looking at stability at Chelsea, constantly competing for the Premier League, not just top four, constantly competing at Europe's highest echelon, Champions League, and going back to winning trophies constantly again. That's what I'm hoping for. Not just do it one season, not do it for 2 seasons, do it again in another 3 seasons. I don't want that. I want stability. I always wanted a project. This is not how I wanted the project to go, but it's in terms of what I was hoping for under Roman. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if you guys want to add anything. I think about summed up everything. And we talked about the game and all the fun stuff. And it's Christmas for you guys over in the UK. So obviously you guys want to open your presents. I'm sure you
have gone on a mad tangent.
Yeah, we did. This is what happens with Chelsea and how it goes. And we started talking about the ownership and all that.
I mean, how many times can you repeat the same thing in a year with this team?
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I mean,
really.
I guess at this point, I'm doing it for the newer viewers that don't know my point of view on this whole thing. But hey, it is. Yeah. Maybe it's not the so-called project ain't project thing. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's
I saw a great tweet about this actually.
Yeah.
Well, it says something along the lines of a project without clear signs of improvement is just PR.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like right now, for sure. There are improvements in sense of how we're structuring things and how we're going about things now, but not improvement of results. And at the end of the day, all the fans care about is results. Like, that's just a fact, right? You guys wouldn't be where you are right now if we were getting results. You wouldn't be complaining about the things you're complaining about.
Long-term success is built on short-term results.
Yeah, and I get it. But this is a 10-year ownership. And who's to say that if the first 2 years are shit, that maybe the next 8 year might be success? I'm just saying. There's a big picture.
I'll wish upon a star for that,
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ask Santa for that?
Yeah.
Chelsea to be successful again. Oh my god.
Hey, at this point, I recall that letter. I asked for Pochettino to be sacked. Give him the Tuchel at PSG treatment. Sack on Christmas Day. Or was it Christmas Eve? I can't remember. But, yeah.
I can only hope at this point with this ownership for Poch to just leave, but I think he's going to get the time. We'll see. We didn't get the results, unfortunately, but hey, maybe it's a draw on Wednesday. That's what I'm going to predict now.
Don't you dare not beat Crystal Poch. Don't you dare fail to beat Crystal Palace, man. We haven't lost to them since I can't even remember the last time we lost to them, guys, or even drew.
It's gonna be peak. This is the roller coaster of a season that we're in, man. It's gonna be peak. I'm hoping with NKUNKU back now.
Bro's your right wing. I'll be there.
I hope with NKUNKU returning, essentially, we can start getting some consistency, some goal scoring threat.
Before he fades away like everyone else.
It's injured again. Oh, okay. I was going to say before he gets injured again, because he's
no.
an injury-prone player.
Look at Palmer, man. He's faded. This happens. No.
Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gents. On that note, though, we are going to end it right there. Big up to everyone that joined the stream. Big up to all the new subs. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and help us out by subscribing, man. Let's look at the subscribe count. Let's see how close we are to 2.4. Hey, we're 20 away from 2.4. So big up to you guys. You guys really upped the numbers on the subs today. So smash up the sub if you haven't done so already. It really helps. Like I said, we're on our way to 2.4, slowly making our way to 3K. And we'll have a nice big celebration when we get 3K, guys. Because I do appreciate all the support you guys are showing. Despite the disagreements, obviously, you guys still coming up here to the shows day in, day out. And just, engaging and giving us good things to talk about and engaging in the conversation. I do appreciate you guys despite how much I can disagree with some of you guys anyways. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone who smashed that like button. Be sure, if you haven't done so already, smash that like button again. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we do go live. Share this stream to anyone you think that would enjoy it. Also, be sure to check out the links down below. I have my YouTube channel there, my personal one. There's the my music on there, as well as Ahmed's channel, Flawless, as well as down there as well. And then do check out the comments. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed today in regards to the game and Poch and the ownership. Also, be sure to check out the memberships, which, by the way, for those of you who are members at the proper casual and higher tier, you get a shout out at the end of every show to show my gratitude and thank you for your support. And that's going to go out to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, and Jesters. Thank you guys so much for your support at that tier. And thank you to everyone else who was also a member who is showing up constantly, supporting, using those emojis. The more members we get, the more emojis we unlock. So, hey, get the membership going if you want to see some different fresh emojis in the lineup there. I have plenty for you guys to use. Check out the Discord as well. That's in the description for you guys to check out and enjoy. But we're going to go ahead and raid Stoffy TV. So if you haven't done so already, do copy and paste that raid message. Let him know where you are coming from so that he can give us a huge shout out and a thank you for raiding him. I'm sure he will appreciate it. But yeah, guys, we're going to see you again on Wednesday. And also, fair warning, I am moving house, so the streaming schedule for next weekend might be a little hectic. We'll see how I go about it, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. I do appreciate your patience and you guys consistently being here for the streams. But all that being said, thank you everyone on YouTube and thank you everyone on Twitter as well. We were streaming on Twitter today. We're going to keep streaming on Twitter, see how that works out for us. But big up to everyone. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. And if I don't see you by New Year, then enjoy your New Year, I guess, if you're here and you're not here Wednesday. So yeah, enjoy your New Year. Have a happy holidays, guys, and stay casual. Peace.